Greetings, everyone. Greetings and welcome to Progressive Discussions, Uncensored Saturday, Open Topic Talk. I'm your host, James P. Madonna. And believe it or not, wow, it's the end of April 2025 already. How about that? Time sure flies. Okay, and I hope everyone had a pleasant Easter and Passover holiday. The next holiday, if you want to call it that, at least for Mexican people, and for me too, because I love Mexican food, is Cinco de Mayo. That's right, the 5th of May. Cinco de Mayo is next. Oh, I need a sip of this Cabernet Sauvignon red wine in my favorite personal wine glass. Good. Excellent. We are live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. I had to create another Twitch account and profile because I was accused of something that I never did with my other Twitch profile. But let me just double check to, let's see. I just want to see if I'm on there. Twitch. Oh, I am on. I am live. Let's see. Yes, there I am. All right, so it's working. I am live stream on YouTube and Twitch. So all you YouTubers and Twitchers out there, feel free to ask any questions, to bring up any topics, anything that's bothering you. Doesn't matter what it is. This is your place to vent. Okay, I am a progressive independent. I despise the two major political parties for obvious reasons. I despise capitalism. I think capitalism is a complete failure for the bottom 98%. I believe capitalism was rigged for and by the top 2%. Some might say the top 1%, but that's the oligarch. We all know how they are. So I would say the top 2%. As far as rags to riches goes, it's a fairy tale, just like trickle-down economics. You're lucky if trickle-down economics even drips down. I call it pissle-down economics, trickle-dickle economics. So anyway, let me sink my teeth into the topics here. Let's see. Got a lot of material because I wasn't live streamed last weekend because of Easter. I wasn't home. I spent Easter with my closest kin folk. Hey, I hate it when they automatically play the videos. I always say that every week. I really hate it when they do that. I'd rather they don't automatically play the videos. Ronnie S., there he is. Ronnie S., now residing in Clearwater, Florida. Greetings, fellow Earthling James. Thank you. I am an inhabitant of Earth, but there's a theory going around that all the races came from different alien worlds. Oh, look who's back. Bless his heart. Sid Ragentooth owned Hollywood. You know him, Ronnie S. Hey, brah, where is the guy from Florida that chugs cheap beer? Let me think. The guy from Florida that chugs cheap beer. Is that the same as the guy from Florida that wears all those all that bling, all those gold chains? Is that him? Brother Ragentooth is back. Oh man, Brother Ragentooth. It's better than Snaggletooth or Saber-Tooth Tiger, right? Brother Ragentooth, Brother Ragentooth. Yes.
Tonight, the beekeeping industry is in crisis. Tonight, the beekeeping industry is in crisis over the shocking and unexplained deaths of hundreds of millions of bees over the last 8 months. Now, this could impact all of the U.S. as bees, called the backbone of agriculture, are responsible for pollinating, get this, more than a third of the nation's crops. CBS's Janet Shamlian in Savoy, Texas, has the story.
This is what an unfolding disaster looks like in the U.S. beekeeping industry. Each of these hives can hold as many as 80,000 bees, but for reasons no one can pinpoint, the bees in all these hives and tens of thousands more have turned up dead.
Have you ever seen it this bad?
Never, not even close. The data is showing us that this is the worst bee loss in recorded history.
Blake Shook is one of the nation's top beekeepers. He owns Desert Creek Honey and several other beekeeping businesses.
If this is a multi-year thing, it'll change the way we consume food in the United States.
That's a pretty significant statement.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, if we lose 80% of our bees every year, the industry cannot survive, which means we cannot pollinate at the scale that we need to produce food in the United States.
Bees play a critical role in U.S. food production. In addition to making honey, they pollinate 75% of the fruits, nuts, and vegetables grown in the U.S. That's $15 billion worth of crops. So what's causing the deaths, and why now?
So these are dead bees in there?
and they have always an identifier for a project.
Juliana Rangel studies them at Texas A&M University.
One potential explanation is that over the last few years, we've seen some locations across the U.S. that have had lower forage available for bees. So when they're supposed to be blooming, let's say in April, they're blooming either earlier in the year or later in the year. And so we have these food deserts basically in the summer and fall that the bees sometimes cannot withstand.
Back at Shook's Bee Farm,
Here we go with the hood.
we suited up for a look at his commercial operation.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right, the first thing we do is smoke the entrance, and that calms the bees down.
This is what a healthy hive looks like.
And then in the center here, this is where the baby bees are raised.
These just returned from California, where the bees were used to pollinate almonds. Beekeeping groups say the losses may put as many as 25% of commercial operations out of business by year's end, with wide-reaching impact.
I got a call from a friend who has 20,000 beehives at the start of winter, and he's at less than 1,000. And he said, this is it. I'm done. And I've had far too many of those calls in the past weeks. It's not just a beekeeper issue. This is a national food security issue.
And
That's bad. That's very serious because bees are our pollinators, and without bee pollination, we don't have crops. We don't have crops, we don't have food. All right? Think about it, folks. I think it has to do with Monsanto's Roundup weed killer. I think that is a big contributor. But the newswoman doesn't mention that. Interesting. This is designer knockoffs. Oh, they removed it. Unbelievable. When people are getting bamboozled and ripped off, and it's a real serious consumer breaking news for the consumer. They go and they remove it. I'm going to tell you what this video was about. All right? I'll tell you. I remember the video, even though they removed it. And this is what it's about. All the designer apparel, could be handbags, could be shoes, could be clothing, all the designer apparel that the rich elitist pretentious snobs like to buy so they could show off to everybody and brag how much they paid for their shoes, their handbag. Oh, I got a Louis Vuitton. Oh, I got a Gucci. I got a Coach handbag. You know, the women do that. Oh, my shoes is designer, this, that, and the other thing. Same thing with clothing. They were all made in China, then shipped to Europe from China to receive the designer name put on it with the logo, and then sent everywhere throughout the world, the United States, for sales. So the designer products that they claim are authentic designer products are really no better than knockoffs because they're made in the knockoff factories in China, like I said. And then they receive the designer name in Europe. So you're being ripped off. It's costing them literally pennies to manufacture. So you're being screwed. So the moral of the story, aside from the sleaziness of retail, wholesale retail capitalism, Madison Avenue, the scumbags of that whole industry, right? Aside from that is, don't buy designer anything because it's total bullshit. That was what the video was about. That was removed by TikTok. All right? Sid Ragan 2. Fake gold chains Oh, so the man from Florida you're accusing of having fake gold chains. Okay. Hey, good morning, Masumi. Masumi from Chiba Prefecture, Japan. Good evening, James from Japan. It is Sunday. Sunday. I don't know what the hell time it is. What is it? Was it 9:12 a.m. Sunday in Japan? Something like that. I could be wrong. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, Masumi. All right, next. Go on to fucking. I titled this "Fucking Capitalism." Again, it was removed. It was talk about censorship. I have to talk to my my close buddy, the one and only, the Reverend Paul Anthony Mantia, about this, because he's got a big lawsuit against TikTok, so they took another one off. Anything that exposes the underhanded, sleazy tactics of capitalism, they're removing them. This one I titled "Prestige is Bullshit." Let's see if this was removed. Oh, wait a minute. I think this has to do with the video that was removed. This good man. All right, hold on. Thank you, James, for your reply. You're very welcome, Masumi, my dear. All right. Let me just all right. Prestige is bullshit. My late great uncle Phil told me that prestige is all in the mind. Right?
The Chinese takedown of luxury goods is wild right now because luxury goods are a huge source of soft power for the West. Soft power is power through things like culture, music, even language. Like US TV shows, that's a form of soft power because it makes the US aspirational and desirable in some ways. So with luxury brands, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, these Birkins, it creates this aspiration for the West, or aspiration to be European in a way, showing that Europe is this gold standard of quality. But when China's revealing that 80% of anything you buy that's Gucci is made in China, that over 60% of anything that you buy from Prada is made in China, that the only difference is that they send it over to Europe and then they stitch on a made in France or made in Italy little label, it's the ultimate pulling the curtain on the wizard in the Wizard of Oz and showing that there actually is no real magic and power in the person who's controlling Oz. I think it's going to be really interesting because there is such a stigma of something that's made in China. There's this perception of lesser quality in the West, but when you reverse that paradigm, when you show that all these goods that you thought were better because they came from Italy or France or wherever, when actually, in actuality, it comes from China, you're forcing consumers to reckon with why they make choices. So if consumers are going to start questioning the perceived worth of luxury goods, consumers are going to then realize that luxury brands are just high markup middlemen. They're just peddling an idea of something versus an actual quality good. And you can just then cut them out and go to the source. And so I think what China is doing right now, by shifting this perception of soft power, by taking back soft power, by showing real power in infrastructure and manufacturing, we're going to see a real flip in a lot of things, whether it comes to labor market, whether it comes to manufacturing, whether it comes to who buys luxury goods and perception of luxury as well. And so
All right, you're right on the money, young whippersnapper. He's right on the money. Just like I said before. Here's one. iPhones will skyrocket because of Trump's tariffs. All right. All right, hold on. Hold on, brother. Hold on, me brother. Okay. You know, brah, I hope you had a good holiday, brah. Good Easter holiday or Passover or whatever you celebrate.
Get ready to cry like Homer. iPhone prices might go so high, even Mr. Burns would think twice. And yep, The Simpsons saw it coming. In a 1998 episode, Homer tries to buy a new phone. The problem? It's so expensive he pulls out chocolate coins to pay spoiler. He ends up sobbing in front of the store while eating one. Now, with Trump's new tariffs, the next iPhones could cost more than a honeymoon in Vegas with Marge. People are already choosing between upgrading their phone or buying groceries. Apple says it's all under control, but we've heard that one before. The future looks pricey, and not all of us have a piggy bank like Bart's. And if this is just the beginning, what else did The Simpsons see coming? What about you? Would you pay whatever it takes for the latest iPhone? Comment iPhone if you feel like this is getting out of hand, and hit follow before Homer sells Maggie to cover the bill. Once again, The Simpsons never miss.
All right. The Simpsons show, Matt Groening, they're very prophetic indeed. They have been accurate in the past. It says job market and economy by Mr. Chris Cuomo. All right. Yes. Yes, I do. Brah. Yes, I do, brah. Do you? Brah? I sent Mr. Ronnie S., your favorite co-host in Clearwater, Florida. I sent him the link. You know, brah? Hope he comes on. Hold on for a second. This is going to be a little tricky. It's going to be a little tricky, brah. Gotta be kidding me. Whoa, brother. All right.
Who voted for Trump hoping that he would take up their cause, to hear him say, yeah, we're going to do tariffs and you got to suck it up. And, well, he doesn't really see about investment in those new jobs. And he's not about the CHIPS Act. You know, he wants to go back to the other manufacturing. I just feel like it must be such a betrayal for them to hear all this and be like, really? This is the guy's plan? He wants me to sew sneakers?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle summarized it perfectly. We want to wear Nikes, not make them. And quite frankly, the Cato Institute did a study. 80% of Americans, we have this sort of romanticization of manufacturing. 80% of Americans think we need more manufacturing, but only 1 in 5 Americans have any interest in working in a plant. There aren't a lot of people lining up to work on the shop floor or at the plants in Lansing, Michigan. And we have purposely outsourced these low-wage manufacturing, dirty manufacturing jobs for high-end service, marketing, strategy, service jobs that just pay more. You'd rather be an associate at JP Morgan than working on the shop floor at General Motors. That's the bottom line. What, you know, the narrative that the stock market may need to go down to repair this, I can kind of empathize with that. I think if we were to raise minimum wage, if he was serious about young men, raise minimum wage to $25 an hour. This myth that all these businesses would go out of business is nothing but a myth. If minimum wage had just kept pace with productivity and inflation, it'd be at 23 to 24 bucks an hour.
I hit the nail right on the head. Trump's sister bashing him. Trump's own sister. First, it was his psychologist niece, who, by the way, has her own podcast, a very good one, too. And now his sister. He doesn't have any friends, it looks like. He's got nothing but enemies in the family and worldwide. Ugh. No, no, no. Okay.
The president was dealt another blow this weekend, this time from his own family.
Change of stories, a lack of preparation, the lying, the holy sh**.
According to audio first obtained by the Washington Post, the president's sister, retired federal judge Marianne Trump Ferry, was recorded by her niece Mary slamming her famous brother.
All he wants to do is appeal to his base. He has no principles. None. And his base, I mean, my God, if you were a religious person, you want to help people, not do this.
The president's chief of staff brushed it aside.
You know, just another day and another attack that we continue to see.
What are you going to do? What is this? Diddy is a good friend of mine.
Working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
He expects.
Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that
Oh,
question.
wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Oh, man. Doge. I call it the douche organization. Doge lays off federal workers before their pension is due. Oh my goodness. Ugh. This is horrible. Doesn't surprise me with the Trump administration and his master muskrat. The master muskrat. All right. It's horrible. Now what? What is this shit? Shoving this advertisement in front of me? Get the hell out of here. Fuck. Doge. See, it's not letting me, this is what pisses me off. I want to show you something. It's not letting me read the article because it is forcing me to subscribe to them. It's not even asking me if I want to subscribe, and it's not allowing me the ability to close out this page. Look at this. Talk about pushy, obnoxious capitalism. Look at this. Well, what I'm going to have to do is tell you, give you a summary of the article, which is that the Doge organization, run by Elon Master Muskrat, is laying off federal workers before their pension is ripened, is ready to be collected. That's what that is about. All right, too bad I couldn't read the whole article. Designer debacle. Ooh, more designer scandal. All right. All right.
So it looks like China just put the final nail in the coffin of the death of the luxury market. Did you guys catch the video of the guy who named all the top designers? He said Hermes, Chanel, Prada, Louis Vuitton, they're all made in China. And they basically manufacture the bag almost to completion. They ship them to France or Italy, and then they just slap a designer tag on it and upcharge it. We kind of already knew this, especially with last year's Dior debacle, but I think we're in the find out stage of the China-USA trade conflict, and we're gonna find out. We're finding out. And it's not just limited to designer handbags. The guy named lingerie brands, he named skincare products, he named makeup. Basically, all of our stuff, all that high-end stuff that we pay tons of money for, are all made in China. That's why I always say, don't waste your money on buying these things new in the store. And even on the secondhand market, we're still overpaying, but I'd rather do that than know that I'm paying thousands of dollars for a bag that costs pennies to make. What do you guys think about it?
Well, just don't buy bullshit designer anything. Don't be a fool. Don't be a sucker. And you will be fine. If I want to get, like, the only reason why I have so many Izod polo shirts is because they were gifts. And I've had them for a long time because I have enough of them not to wear them out. But you think, in my right mind, I would pay that much money for a polo shirt just because it says Izod on the label and there's a little crocodile on the shirt? No way. If I had to pay out of pocket for a polo, I would get it from like Walmart or something. I'm sure it would fit. I'm sure many companies make tapered shirts for athletic men. All right. Brother Franklin, Chip Franklin, of really American media.
I thought it was bad when Pete, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, Hegseth, was texting war plans like a 12-year-old girl to her BFFs.
Nobody's texting war plans.
That looks innocent.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
Now it turns out the National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, the same waterhead who put the journalist in the text chain for that attack on Yemen, turns out he's sending secret conversations involving sensitive military operations using Gmail. Yeah, Gmail. What was Yahoo offline? Yahoo! So basically the same platform Hunter Biden sent pictures of his dick.
Oh, I'm very excited about that.
Is being used by Trump's inner circle to plan and organize our national defense. Why is Trump destroying everything from the CDC, CIA, NSA for his BFF? This just in, the Pentagon has a new weapon called Battleship, and my 13-year-old's in charge. Sir, let's go! If this keeps up, we might need Hunter Biden to take off his pants and Gmail Hamas.
Whether the women like it or not.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about. Hunter Biden is sending photos of his penis to people. Now this is interesting. Mainland China to the rescue. Hmm. Yeah, no, that's coming later. I got a lot of material to go through, Jordy, because my show wasn't on last weekend because of Easter weekend. I wasn't home. So I got a lot of stuff to go through, but I'll be around later. I still have the link available to play until you come out with the next newest techno music video. Kick ass, chew bubble gum, and drink beer. Bubble, 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 bubble.
If you want to come to China to purchase furniture, but are worried about the 145% US tariff, what should you do? Don't worry, you can come to China for a trip, and we can offer you personal shopping services. First, tell me your requirements for furniture and building material, and we'll provide you with a furniture catalog. Second, we'll arrange a business card to pick you up at the airport and help you choose a comfortable hotel. Third, in the following days, I'll take you to the factories to see the product and get the most favorable prices. Fourth, even after you leave China, we'll still offer you online services according to your needs. Fifth, after the order is completed, a special person will help you with quality inspection. Sixth, finally, you'll find a professional international shipping company considering the size of your furniture and the local logistics policy. We'll ensure the safety of the furniture during transportation and avoid any damage or scratches. I'm Miyamayo, your business partner.
Oh, what a nice guy he is. And see, the Chinese are very innovative, man. They are problem solvers. Wall Street says Trump is insane. Okay, that's the next one. Wall Street says Trump is insane. Insane to the membrane, insane to the brain. That's an old song from the 1980s. Insane, I don't know, maybe Jordy remembers that song. Insane to the membrane, insane to the brain. Stream Boo. Those are where they discuss the latest horror movies. Stream Boo. Yeah, why do some people call their boyfriend or girlfriend a boo? What the fuck does that mean? Boo, boo. What does that mean? My boo.
So Wall Street fund managers are now telling the press that they believe Trump is actually clinically insane. The New Republic highlighted recent statements made from fund managers who think that Trump's behavior indicates that he might have lost his marbles. You think you're just coming around to realize that now? He's someone who continued to brag about cognitive exams and man, person, woman, elephant, or whatever the heck the exam was. By the way, he was doing that again yesterday when he went on Air Force One, which, by the way, he struggled to get into Air Force One. We've got the video here. He didn't know how to put the umbrella back to its original position, and he couldn't get into the door, and he got stuck pulling the umbrella through a door where the umbrella didn't fit. Then he goes on Air Force One. I don't want to play a lot of Trump clips on this video, so indulge me. I'll tell you what he said. He goes, I just took a cognitive exam It was a hard one. I took the exam. I did well on it. I did great. I did better than Biden on the cognitive exam. This is what he was talking about last night. So he goes on Air Force One, flies to Mar-a-Lago on the taxpayer dime, charging we the people, the taxpayer, literally tens of millions of dollars so he could go back to Florida and vacation again. Over and over again. Every weekend, this is what he does. Now, before he left, as the bond markets are continuing to implode, as the dollar's crashing, as the 10 and 30-year Treasury yields are going to levels that they should never be at all, showing stability as they continue to go up, reflecting great instability with the American markets as mortgage rates are now over 7%, as the euro and yen are rising, as I mentioned, the dollar's crashing, as China and their foreign ministry and Xi Jinping have made statements that they're never going to bow or submit to Donald Trump. This is what Donald Trump was doing yesterday. This was one of the big things he did. He took the portrait of President Obama in the White House and he got rid of it and he replaced it with an image of him in the Butler, Pennsylvania incident, with his fist up. Tacky, disgusting, despicable, weird, you name it. And then the sources close to Donald Trump were telling CNN that Donald Trump's been telling people at Mar-a-Lago while he's vacationing and partying that he loves this shit. He says he's loving all of this. The chaos, the suffering. He says that he loves this shit. You take a look also, by the way, at Doge and its quote-unquote
Douche. He's loving it, all right. So human suffering gives him pleasure. Balls to the walls is the next one. I give him nicknames. So Tim Walz. Tim Walz. Now, in this video, he sounds a hell of a lot better than when he was debating J.D. Vance before the election. He sounded very nervous. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Cypress Hill did that song, Insane to the Brain, Insane to the Membrane, Insane to the Brain. My boo, yeah, I don't get that either. I call her my babe. What about Toots? What about Hoochie? Hoochie Mama. Toots. Hey, Toots. That was funny, Toots. God bless. Jordy said, God bless. Thank you. Be right back. I gotta go pee. And here we have the one and only, the legendary Ronnie S., the man with that not only drinks all that cheap macro beer like Sid Dragon Ball says.
Look at this one.
Oh, Labatt's.
This one's really cheap.
That's not bad.
I got this 6-pack for $6.99.
Was that a Pilsner?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pristine Pilsner, it says.
Labatt's, is that still in Canada?
Yep.
Good.
$6.99 for this.
Got the make believe on it because they make when it comes to food and drink, quality is job one with Canada. Now
quality products.
Yes, here
especially
is
the beer.
Right. And you're not doing too bad with the bling. I only see one chain. You don't have like
No,
Sid.
I used to have like 10.
Like Sid Dragon Balls.
I took them off.
Yeah, like Sid Dragon Balls.
Sid was embarrassing me, so.
Hold on, my prop. I will use it like a magic wand.
Well, at first I thought that was a cheese head. Like
no, it's a turlet brush. As Archibald Bunker used to say, a turlet.
Where'd you get that?
Oh, a friend of mine sent it to me from California.
Oh, that's nice one.
Yeah, you know what? There's a reason why I did not remove it from the package in case in the future Trump is not relevant anymore and he goes down in history. I got a collector's item that untouched by human hands.
So you're not gonna clean your toilet with it?
Hell no. No, I'm gonna keep this nice. He's puckering up, see? He's puckering up, man.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah. The magic wand. The magic schlong. All right.
That's not from Michael Goldsmith, is it?
No. Nope. It's one of my fans from originally from TikTok and the food group. Now the food group.
Which one? The everything is food.
Yeah, from Los Angeles. A foodie connoisseur and critique.
Connoisseur.
Yeah, very kind.
Oh shit! There he is. Balls to the walls.
Yeah, he's talking too. Wait, I'm going to turn it on. Balls to the what? But he sounds a lot better in this one than he did on the debate. He was all like, "Oh my God."
He called himself a knucklehead, right? At that time.
Not only that, he was like, he was like nervous. You know, it's
yeah.
It's like that.
I know I'm doing something right when the Fox News crowd is all just bitching at me like crazy. Like I'm loving it. Or Elon Musk was crying last week. Tim is being mean to me, basically, you know, like, yeah. But I think every time they do a press conference, I've been saying this, we need a shadow government of somebody out there to punch back at them.
Shadow government. Shadow government.
Shadow government? What is he talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea.
That's it. That's the video.
That's it. That's all he say. That's to say. Balls. Well, you know what? He still is balls to the walls because
I remember he went on Gavin Newsom's podcast, right? A couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sure he had more to say there.
Yeah. Did you see any of that?
No, but
look it up.
You know, I played a few. Well, there was a few videos that TikTok removed involving designer products, and I finally found a couple that TikTok did not remove, and I just want to get your thought on it when I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
The companies, the hoity-toity.
Now, was that made in China, James?
Probably. The hoity-toity designer products. Okay, you know, your Gucci's, your Louis Vuitton, so on and so forth.
This is a Gucci shirt.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not.
It looks very nice. So, what they do is they manufacture it in China for penny, then they ship it to Europe to put the designer label, the stamp, the logo, bing, then they sell it for a fortune.
But does it say made in China or made in Italy?
I don't know because I refuse to buy designer anything because I know it's for suckers.
Remember The Rock used to come out with the $500 shirts?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he used to in his promos he would say, "I got this $500 shirt, $600 pants." Kind of like what Ric Flair used to do.
Oh yeah, Ric Flair was like that. You know, custom made from head to toe. He used to say,
Mm-hmm.
"Woo, I'm custom made from."
Yeah, when I was a kid, The Rock used to do it.
Yeah. I just want to tell Jordy, I got a lot of serious stuff to go through, but I'll be around. I'll send you the link then.
Stick around, Jordy.
Stick around. Don't worry about it. I will send it to you. Hook or by crook. Fake Gucci, bro. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There's knockoffs. There's knockoff, and then there are real designer. But what the videos were talking about was the fact that they're made in China for peanuts, and then they go to Europe and they put the name.
So what does that mean that he owns Hollywood, or he already owned Hollywood?
I don't know. Are you Sid? Are you a big time Hollywood producer? Did you like
Maybe he's a Jew.
what's that guy's name? Harvey Weinstein, the fat guy that looks like what the hell's his name again? Stay on.
Harvey Wineballs.
Yeah, Wineballs. The guy like Ron Jeremy, who is fat now, also.
The porn guy.
Yeah, he's selling rum. It's called Ron de Jeremy because Ron means rum in Spanish.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why when Ron Terrio used to do a lot of those Spanish Latino rum reviews, I used to take the names of the ones he was reviewing and I would use it for my name here, because my name is Ron.
You know what's funny? As a kid, I thought the person who started Bacardi rum was Ronald Bacardi, Ron Bacardi. I didn't know at that time that Ron means rum in Spanish.
It's Ron.
Ron. So Emilio Bacardi.
Is it Emilio or Emiliano?
Well, the articles said Emilio, but you know it could be Emiliano. Anyway, he's the one that started in Santiago, Cuba, which is the far east tip, far east side of the island, and that's where the Afro Cubans are, where a Cruz, Celia Cruz is from. The queen of salsa.
Cuban salsa.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
each area has a different salsa. Puerto Rico, Colombia has a different salsa.
Puerto Rico's got good salsa.
Oh yeah.
Colombia.
Well, not anymore, but the classics.
Don't they like?
They don't produce it anymore.
Don't they like bachata?
No, it's Dominicans. Dominicans are bachata, merengue.
Merengue, yeah, merengue is the fast music.
Merengue is cool. That's a great dancing music.
Yeah, talk about a workout. What's a workout I heard? The Brazilian samba. The samba.
Yeah, I don't know how to dance. I have no idea.
It's a real.
You know what I heard that the late Pope Francis was a good tango dancer.
Really?
In Argentina before he became a religious.
Yeah, he was Argentinian, which is very Europeanized.
Yeah, his parents were Italian, but he was born in Argentina.
Yeah. Well, the national language is Spanish, but they
I think they recognize Italian too, right?
Yeah, they have a German neighborhood community. They got Italians there. They got all that.
There was a big thing when he first became pope that he was a Latino pope. He's Italian. He's Italian.
Yeah, a descent, his heritage is Italian.
I mean, maybe technically he's Latino, but Argentina's got to be the most European country in Latin America.
Yes. Yeah, but don't forget, Chile, Uruguay, and Paraguay are also to
not as much as Argentina. Though.
Like Chile has good wine, and they owe their winemaking from they owe it to Spain because the Spaniards sent people over there.
Sure.
They have good wine. They have very good seafood, from what I understand.
I am. Well, they're right on the coast, right, Chile?
Yeah, very mountainous.
It's a very long country, but very skinny, so it doesn't go too far inland.
No, it doesn't. It's skinny, long, mountainous, and they have a lot of earthquakes and bad ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's common in South America, the earthquakes.
They had one recently. Well, Japan has earthquakes. That's why they have the buildings are earthquake
resistance. as much resistant as it can be.
Yeah, because you know how Mother Nature is. You
Right.
can't beat Mother Nature. If Mother Nature
You
wants,
get earthquakes in New Jersey from time to time, right?
yeah, remember that. Yeah, I didn't feel it. My sister did. I was fast asleep, but yeah, if Mother Nature wants to give you the middle finger and fuck you up, Mother Nature will do it. Like,
Well, look at Florida.
well, look at all these civil engineers. You know, they'll
Check this out, James. I bought this at a gas station.
THC -A. Ooh,
Remember I was telling you about the A last time?
the lost THC. Yeah, is that the one that when you light it, you end up with CBD and THC?
No, supposedly, once you light it, it becomes THC, which THC is marijuana. So it's a THCA before you light it, which means it's legal before you light it. It's very
So,
interesting. Very interesting, right?
So it's the CBD that they have problems with, right?
No, it's THC. CBD is nothing. CBD is just to like relax your body. That's legal. They give CBD to dogs.
Okay, so what happens scientifically to the legal products that you've been telling me about? Like when
So
you light
so it says THCA. So in Florida, THC, marijuana, all that, it's illegal for medical use is legal, but for recreational use, it's not legal. So from what I understand, THCA, it's A before you take it and you light it up. So right now it's legal. But once I light it, it turns into regular THC, and at that point, it's technically illegal.
oh, because it ignites with fire.
I guess, yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's really interesting.
It can
And the governor, Ron DeSanctimonious, he's very much against legalized marijuana, but I guess he can't stop the gas stations, can't stop the smoke shops.
yeah, well so it converts to regular THC once you light it.
Once you light it, it's a real gimmick, isn't it?
But THCA, yeah, plus Ron Sanctimonious likes to donate many millions of Medicaid money to his wife's favorite charity.
Yeah. Well, that's different. I don't know. So I guess you heard that story, but it sounds like the charity is pretty good. It sounds like they're helping people.
Yeah, but you know, people that are low income are relying on their health care. You know, I mean, a lot of these people have kids. It's a tough situation.
His wife might be running for the governor.
The governor, I know. Oh, how was Andrew Cuomo doing? Is he still running for mayor?
I don't follow it. I don't know. You should look it up. Let's check it out.
Yeah,
I'd be curious to know.
Yeah,
I don't follow New York City, the mayoral election there.
Yeah, it's interesting because
it is interesting.
It's like a circus. Like a circus,
That's what politics is. It's a circus. It's so
yeah, especially
you
New
follow
York.
it because it's interesting. You don't have to get too excited about anything.
Well, you got a good laugh when I was wearing my sunglasses like Chuck Schumer, down to the end of my
Yeah,
nose.
I love Chuck Schumer, man. He's the old grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa Munster, he looks like.
I told you he spoke at well, the time I graduated, he spoke. He gave a speech.
Fuck is my glasses?
Schumer around. He goes to all the graduations in New York State. I don't know if he still does, but he was doing it back, when I was graduating.
Well, that shows he's humble.
And he can give a good speech. He's a real hoorah, gets into it kind of guy. Gets you excited.
He's very, very humble. He's humble.
He's the humble Jew.
He's a humble Jew.
What is it? He's the son of a plumber or something like that. He said.
Oh, that's Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, but his dad was something like that.
Was it? Son of a plumber?
Grew
Plumber's.
up, grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah, like Bernie. Except I think Chuck Schumer's parents probably have more money than Bernie.
No, he said his dad was like a plumber or a mechanic or some shit like that. He could feed like 4 or 5 mouths. His mom was a homemaker. Yeah, back in the day.
You know what his dad should have done? He should have opened up a kosher deli, and he would have had all that great food. You know, sandwiches and whitefish
Too
salad,
much competition.
smoked whitefish salad, hot pastrami. Oh, you know what I found out?
It's too much competition.
The guys that used to work at Cat's Deli opened up one of those places near my hometown in New Jersey. So lo and behold, you know what their big hot pastrami sandwich costs?
$20.
Yeah, $20. Same thing with the corned beef.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Oh, yeah, they better pile on that freaking corn.
But they make a big fat sandwich, right?
Well, yeah, it's a big sandwich, but I mean, you know what? I really feel bad that Port of Call Las Vegas style buffet went out of business. I'm telling you, when I say top of the line food at this buffet, oh man! But it's a chain.
Yeah, it's a shame. All the buffets are going out.
It originally started in Las Vegas, and yeah, all the buffets, even the crappy ones, are all going belly up.
They're coming back in Florida. I noticed.
That's good.
Yeah.
I went to
it is good. I love buffets.
I went to a really good buffet, and it was either West Palm Beach or Pompano Beach. No, not Pompano. West Palm Beach
Pompano?
or Boca Raton.
Boca Raton.
It was an awesome freaking buffet. It was done like it was decorated like a Hawaiian luau. You know, it was nice. They had the torches and everything. Oh man. But I think there is a Polynesian restaurant like that with the hula dancers and.
Do you like the Korean buffets or the Korean they call them hot spots? I think where you cook your own food.
I'm not cooking my own food. Are you kidding? I gotta pay to cook my own food?
That's what I say.
Is that so? They don't have to pay for the cooks.
Have you heard of that though?
Is that what the Korean iron? Is that called iron pot?
No, it's called hot pot. I think.
Hot pot? No, I ain't cooking my own food. I told my
If they have them down here, they gotta have them in New Jersey though.
No, we got them.
Yeah.
We got actually the restaurant that took the place of Port of Call buffet is a Korean hot pot, cook your own. I told my brother-in-law, he says, "What? I gotta pay them to cook my own food?"
It's like I haven't gone yet. My wife went with her friend. She said it's like when you go into the hibachi places, and the guy is making a show, cooking the food.
Yeah.
So instead of the guy cooking the food, making the show, you do your own food, and you can make a show yourself if you want.
It's like if you imagine somebody drunk going crazy with that.
They probably do on like a Friday, Saturday night.
It's like Benihana of Tokyo. They had the you paid for the acrobatics. The guy with the knives, and then you end up walking out wishing you had a pizza. You end up starving when you walk out.
The hibachis, they give you a decent amount of food. It's a bunch of rice,
But you would love the Brazilian Rodizio barbecue places.
I've been to I've been to a few of them.
Yeah, they're nice.
Here and in New York, the Brazilian ones.
Yeah, with the wooden peg. One side is red, the other side is green.
Where they bring you the steaks.
Yeah, on a kebab, and there's a cutting board.
Yeah, they walk around every few minutes or so.
Yeah, there's a wooden cutting board.
Cut it off. Yep.
Oh, would you like some? They used to come by. I love the skirt steak. It was very tender, and I love the chicken breast with bacon wrapped around it. That was good too.
There's a good one in Orlando that I've been to.
Oh yeah,
I think it's right on International Drive. That's where all the hotels are. there by Universal.
The Brazilian Rodizio, yeah. You're better off just going to Tarpon Springs and getting a gyro or a falafel.
Some good Greek stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like I love lamb. I don't know about you, but I like it. You know.
I can only eat lamb on Easter for some reason.
Why? What happens when you eat lamb?
Well, it's like a tradition, right? It's like a Greek tradition.
Oh, yeah, well, lamb. Yeah, lamb is an Easter tradition because in Palestine, Israel, Palestine, that whole region, the people were sheep herders. You know, they had goat herders and sheep herders. You know, so the Middle East, lamb is a big thing with the Middle East.
In my family, it was always ham on Easter. I don't know why that was.
That's what we had. You know why? Because my sister says that the lamb is expensive. That's why.
No, it's not.
That's why we had smoked ham. You know, if you got a rack of lamb, she said it was $17 up here. A rack of lamb. Now the Irish eat lamb too. They eat lamb. They eat. I love the banger sausages. Though.
That's not lamb, and that's
Yeah, I know.
Scottish, I think. I don't think that's Irish.
The bangers.
Yeah, the bangers. Remember we were talking to Jordy about it.
Yeah, well, we'll ask him about the bangers.
Bangers and smash.
Bangers and smash. Smashing the girl, banging and smashing her. I had bangers and mash. I like shepherd's pie.
That's British, I think.
But you know what that is? That's you take your leftovers and you put it in the oven with mashed potatoes around it. It's like potluck. It's like, you know, I hate to say it, but, you know, Italians are guilty also. It's peasant food.
Yeah.
And now they took peasant food in Italy, like tripe, stew, tomatoes. Now all of a sudden they jacked up the price. And
I can't stand tripe. I can't eat it.
You don't like tripe?
No. It's too chewy.
The Spanish people call it mondongo.
Yeah, they call it what? Mondongo?
Mondongo, but you gotta cook it.
Yeah, it's not. I just can't eat it though. From any nationality, I can't eat tripe.
You gotta soak it in brine overnight. You gotta clean.
Do you like it?
Sterile. Yeah, if it's not like, you know, if it's like my grandmother used to say, the young stomach lining. It can't be an older livestock because then it's like too chewy.
Yeah, but it's just very chewy. Anytime I've ever had it.
Yeah, you got to cook the hell out of it. All right, this is funny. Hold on.
Hey, Trump, the egg situation in America is out of control thanks to Crooked Joe and Cookie Kamala Obama. But I'm fixing it, I'm fixing it strongly.
I never heard that.
Trump eggs. Every Trump egg is personally laid by me, a skill I learned after spending decades studying chicken. Trump eggs are cage-free and grade double D. Perfect in an egg salad or in a frittata after playing 19 holes. The extra hole is my egg hole, also known as the cloaca. We love cloacas, don't we, folks? What a word, cloaca. One hole for everything. Order now and you'll receive a side of Trump bacon directly from my perfectly toned island. And a few lucky patriots will receive a fertilized Trump egg. Oh no! This one's an Eric. Oh well. Trump eggs. Free if you let me kiss your daughter. Available at Whole Foods, or as more and more people are calling it, Cloaca food.
Cloaca.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
that was on the Jimmy Kimmel show?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Remember him?
Yeah, he's
He left and then he came back, right? He was gone for a while.
He took over for
David Letterman.
Well, Jimmy Fallon took over the Tonight Show, I think. And
Jimmy Fallon, and then there was
Jimmy Kimmel, David Letterman. Jimmy Fallon took over for David Letterman.
Stephen Colbert, right? I think that's a different network, right?
Yeah. The Tonight Show was taken over by Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Fallon's in New York. He took over for David Letterman. And remember Conan O'Brien?
Yeah.
He wasn't bad.
What happened with him?
I don't know. He just like went belly up. Yeah,
That's a shame.
He was a writer. He was a comedy writer for popular shows.
I guess they just, they have so many years in them.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, it was funny. Panama Canal protests. Oh, these people are they're pissed. They're pissed at Trump wanting to take Panama.
Are the Panamanians, Chris?
Hold on. There's a lot of Geordies.
Americans.
There's a lot of Geordies here.
Geordies.
Yeah. Oh, you thought that was funny? Donald Trump laying the egg, Jordy?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's talk show. Jimmy Fallon took over. Yeah, he knows. Jimmy Fallon interviewed Pierce Brosnan, and they played Golden Eye. I'm not familiar with Golden Eye. Is that a bomb?
Golden Eye is 007. James Bond.
Is that like a nickname for him?
It was one of the names of his movies, I think.
I remember Goldfinger.
Goldfinger, right?
And Austin Powers had Gold Member.
And Bill Goldberg.
The guy Gold Member is the Dutch guy with the leotards, the gold leotards and the big bulge in his pants, and that's why he was called Gold Member, because he hot molten gold poured on his pelvic area, and his schlong was encased in gold. So that's why he's called Gold Member. Gold Member.
Look, they're burning the United States flag right now, and they're burning Marco Rubio's face as well. That's what's happening here in Panama right now with the police as well.
Marco Rubio, narco terrorist, very terrorist. He's the principal terrorist in the world. Marco Rubio and Trump.
You think that's fair to put a swastika next to Marco Rubio's face?
But it's Nazis. It's Nazi.
¿Qué está pasando? What's happening?
Está pasando que Mulino, el vendepatria de Panamá, que es presidente, está de espalda al pueblo, con el gringo Rubio tratando de negociar a espalda del pueblo. Tienen un dispositivo de policía aquí. Esperamos verlo cuando los gringos vengan. El pueblo panameño habla alto y claro. No aceptamos ningún convenio con Rubio. No aceptamos la imposición gringa.
Right here they were burning a flag of the United States. They also had photos of Marco Rubio and Donald Trump, and on it they had some swastikas. They were calling Donald Trump and Marco Rubio Nazis. Right here you have the police and all their riot gear. That building right there is where Marco Rubio and the President Molino is currently meeting right now to talk about.
Oh, Marco Rubio was meeting President Molina. You better get out of there, because they kept saying gringo many times. And you can't get more gringos than that kid, you know, he's very pale,
No, Marco Rubio's not a gringo.
Well, that's what they're calling him, a gringo, because he's a Cuban, I guess a Cuban gringo.
A Cuban gringo?
I don't know. Caucasoid?
Can't do that.
You call him a gringo. The gringos stole the land from the native peoples. The native peoples that got a screw. Illegal deportation to El Salvador. Okay. Yeah, without due process, that's the problem. Hey, ooh. What's going on here? Burning Man? Excuse me. Austin Powers Gold Member was funny. I love it. Yeah. I love gold.
Gold member, that's what it is. I said Goldberg.
Yeah, gold member. And remember when gold member told Dr. Evil, "You've been working out. It looks like you've been working out. You look toit. You're toit as a toiger." So Dr. Evil says, "That's not something you should be saying to another man. That he's toit. Toit as a toiger." Like Jordy. When Jordy works out, he's toit as a toiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordy.
Jordy, you're toit
Jordy
as
the gent.
You're toit as a toiger.
Jordy the gent.
Laughing. You're toit as a toiger. Remember gold member? I love gold.
Gold member.
Gold member.
I remember this one.
So as I sit here right now, you're telling me that CF-47 has decided to fly in the El Salvadorian president to the White House.
Holy shit, look at that wristwatch she has.
Look at that hair, man. How does
Yeah,
she do it?
I know, but I never seen that wristwatch on her. Look at the size of the damn thing. Damn, it must have like a laser device or some weapon. Gold member.
So they both can sit down and discuss a couple of things. Their for-profit prison system that they're very excited about, heaven only knows what's happening down there, and the possible return of Garcia. Garcia, who was, by everybody's account, including the administration right now, illegally deported to El Salvador. They're going to discuss that. A man whom the Supreme Court has demanded he be returned. A facilitated return should happen due to the illegality of the actions of this administration. That's what's happening right now. And at the end of their little embarrassing, pathetic meeting, these two men have decided unequivocally, I say that wrong every time, unequivocally,
I can't say it either.
that this man will
Unequivocally.
Unequivocally.
Unequeer? What? Unequivocally. Whatever.
not be released. This is what they've decided. One of two things are true, and I hope every...
Gotta ask Jordy.
Oh, the watch. Yeah, that's what you're talking about? The big watch?
Yeah, big watch. I gotta ask Jordy how do you pronounce unequivocally? Unequivocally. Did they say that in Scotland, Jordy?
Anybody who runs into CF-47 from now until the end of time says this. Either he is inept, ineffectual, soft piece of celery who can't negotiate with the president of El Salvador. You have no power with El Salvador. Is that it? If that's it, raise your hand, sir, and just cop to it. Or Garcia cannot be returned because you know he is no longer with us. And you, the weak, pathetic people you are too afraid to actually admit it. Which is it? I really want to know, and I want everybody and every concerned citizen in the United States should be asking this question again and again and again and again, because I'm going to say something to you.
And again.
If they can do it to him, they can do it to anybody in the United States, citizen or not. All they have to say is, "Oh, we made an accident, our mistake." But you know, international law prohibits us from going in and pulling them back out. We can't do anything. Do you think that will stop? Do you think that will stop at his political enemies? Do you think that will stop with people he deems to be less than what he wants in his country? Because that's what you're allowing to happen. If you stop talking about it, if you stop pressuring it, if you stop screaming it from the rooftops, that is what he will utilize. This moment is what he will use in order to do it again and again and again. If you have a voice in the United States, you better be using it to scream at the top of your lungs. And if you come in contact with any of these pathetic individuals, that question better be the first question that's asked, because I'm telling you right now, this is the fundamental breaking point. Right now, it's not about tariffs. That's a distraction. It's about this. Disappearing innocent people who have the audacity to stand against that government.
Yeah. Well, he wants to be. He wants to be America's first dictator.
The first one ever? You don't think there's ever been any?
Dictators in the United States?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. Ask Ronald Terrio.
Thanks, Ronald Terry.
I don't know. He's the history professor. Starlink. That's Master Muskrat. Starlink. Oh man. I tell you, my allergies have been bothering me. It's probably the tree pollen. Yeah. Tree pollen, grass pollen. No, it's tree pollen.
Is it pollen season up there?
Well, they're in bloom. The trees are in bloom.
Do you get allergies?
Yeah, but I've been I think the vitamin C is helping me because I haven't taken a Benadryl or any allergy medication yet. I haven't taken any yet, so the supplements I'm taking is probably helping.
Plus, so you got any more videos of the balls to the walls?
Not balls to the walls.
No.
I got a lot of stuff, but not balls to the walls.
I like to see it. Yeah, another one. I like balls to the walls. All walls.
All wall. Knucklehead.
A constellation of Starlink satellites beam internet across the globe. But there is more to this story than global connectivity. Scientists fear that what's floating above could harm what's below. Because with a lifespan of 5 years, Starlink satellites eventually burn up.
Isn't sexual intercourse considered connectivity? I guess so. Yeah, copulation. What do you think, Jordy? Connectivity, copulation? I love gold.
And return to Earth, releasing harmful aluminum oxide particles. And these invisible specks could trigger chemical reactions that harm the ozone layer. With more than 7,000 Starlink satellites in orbit, the balance between innovation and environmental impact is lost in space. Our next report uncovers the hidden cost of Starlink internet.
Elon Musk's Starlink satellites promised internet for everyone. But are they silently damaging the planet? In January 2025, 120 Starlink satellites burnt up in space. The skies shimmered with stunning artificial meteor showers. Now, one could take it to be a cosmic show, right? But maybe not. Because behind the beauty lies an invisible danger. Each re-entry releases aluminium oxide particles. These tiny particles could harm the ozone layer. The ozone protects life on Earth from harmful UV rays. Starlink satellites orbit between 550 to 1,200 kilometers high. Their lifespan is short, which is around 5 years. And Starlink's re-entry speed hits around 27,000 kilometers per hour. This friction creates intense heat. The heat then vaporizes the satellites completely, and aluminium turns into aluminium oxide particles. One Starlink satellite leaves behind 30 kilograms of these particles, and they float in the atmosphere for decades.
Lovely.
Now, even though the danger isn't immediate, it's not like it won't happen. In 2023, NASA detected metal particles in Alaska's skies. Aluminium oxide levels increased 8-fold between 2016 and 2022. And in 2022 alone, satellites released 41.7 metric tons of aluminium, which is 30% more than the natural cosmic dust. If launches continue, emissions could hit 360 metric tons annually. That's 646% higher than natural levels. And the worst part? The damage won't appear for decades. And by then, the atmosphere could be packed with particles.
At 10%, the current fraction of stratospheric aerosol with metal cores is not large. But over 5,000 satellites have been launched in the past 5 years. Most of them will come back in the next 5, and we need to know how that might further affect stratospheric aerosol.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go the distance with that, but let's see. Oh, this is interesting. I'm just skimming through stuff here. Here's RFK Jr. cleans up toxicity. Actually, she's finally doing something real good. Quiet. Quiet. Not yet. Automatically play the video. I will. But you gotta let me go through important stuff. I'll send you the link now, but you gotta, be patient and do what Ronnie does. Be quiet until we start talking to each other. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I'll send you the link on Facebook Messenger, Jordy. All right, how's that? Okay. Jordy, where are you? I love gold. I love gold. There he is. I see. I just sent it to you. I love gold. Okay. RFK Jr. cleans up the toxic.
We're gonna change things for real this time.
No, he's doing something good finally.
We're going to change things for real this time. Oh, and this is my legacy. It's President Trump's legacy. It's the legacy of all these people who've walked away from fortunes and going concerns. And we are disrupting this agency. We're taking it out of the hands of industry and we're putting it back in the hands of the American people. And we are going to have revolutionary change. It's not listening to me today. If you think that we're not serious about this, you're making a bad judgment. So, and I have a president now behind me who does not care. He doesn't care what he's been called by every soda company, by every candy company, by every processed food company. And most of the time he tells me and says, I don't care. You do what you need to do, and I'm going to block for you. So I think things are going to change, and they're going to change dramatically over the next 4 years.
Yeah, good. I'm all for it. There's just way too many toxins in our food supply and just about everything. It's really horrible. The kids are being poisoned. Babies.
All the kids have autism these days.
Yeah, too much. Way too much autism. Way too much autism.
What's going on?
Here's Ronald Reagan. Now, this is coming from Ronald Reagan when Ronald Reagan was healthy. Now, wait till you... Ronald Reagan on tariffs. Hey, what are you doing? What's going on? Busting my balls? Hold on. Busting my balls, yeah. It's not a bitch. And it's hard to control the behavior of the video. Make it easy for you. You know what I mean? He'll make it easy for you.
High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Ronald Reagan said it.
that's when Republicans had common sense and intelligence, even though Reagan was very anti-union. But
Would you
then
call
again,
Reagan extreme right winger?
nah, he's not an extreme right winger, but he's definitely a right winger because, you know, he was anti-union, but he was the head of the Screen Actors Guild, which is a union. So let me bring Jordy.
Jordy the gent.
Jordy is here.
He's here. Have no fear.
Have no fear. Jordy is
Jordy.
here. I love gold.
What's up, Jordy?
I like that cartoon character. Oh, you're muted.
Muted, yeah.
You're muted, Jordy. Your microphone is muted. You are muted. Let's see. What's this? Oh, no. China turns on its artificial sun. That's amazing. It's not long, but it's amazing.
What was that, James?
China invents the artificial sun.
What's that? That sounds interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's amazing. It's amazing, man.
An artificial sun?
Yeah, hold on. What does he say? Send me the link if you can put up with a drunk Scotsman. Oh no, again? You're drunk again? Coolio, sorry, I'm stoned. I'll be quiet. Coolio? Who's Coolio? Is that who? Is he related to Julio from Sanford and Son?
Yeah.
Coolio?
Who was that
Yeah,
on Sanford and Son?
That was the neighbor, I think. Julio would live next door. He had the goat.
I don't remember that character.
Yeah. The Puerto Rican guy moved in. He was on Barney Miller, you know. He was one of the detectives originally.
Damn. That's not good, man. Not good.
Oh boy.
What's that, man?
It's not good.
That's not good.
Yeah, well, my question is why? Why an artificial sun? Don't we have enough
Why are
radiation coming
you
from?
attempting to do this? Right? What is the motive behind it? You know?
All right. This is warning from China to the Trump administration for trying to bully China and starting the tariff war. And China was very stern, as you will hear, very direct to the point.
Who's he?
He is he's somebody from the Chinese government. I don't know.
That's not
want to impose
Xi
war on
Jinping.
China, you get.
No, no, that's
If you
not
want
him.
to impose war on China, you get war. If you want to destroy China, you get destroyed. If you want to bomb China out with nuclear weapons, you will be wiped out with nuclear weapons. That's the mutually assured destruction theory, mad theory, that everyone in Pentagon, everyone in Washington, D.C. should fully know about. China is not going to be pushed around, and China will fight to the end, one way or another, peacefully or otherwise. So the choice is in Washington. China wants to be a partner of the United States rather than being a slave of the United States.
Yeah, well,
It sounds like
I don't
an
blame him.
AI video, man. It's fucked up. Don't you think a little bit? Like the voice?
No, he's a Chinese guy.
But it's like an AI voice, though.
Ooh, FDA cuts puts us in danger. Oh gosh, yeah, I remember this one. I remember this one. So a lot of serious stuff going on. Anyway, we are streaming on
Are we
YouTube
on
and
Twitch?
Twitch. Yeah, we're back because I had to start a new account.
So what's your Twitch handle?
Well, it's Mega Life 21 because I tried to change it to Progressive Discussions, and it won't work. Maybe because the other one that got the axe, for reasons that I'm not guilty of, was under that name. So I don't know.
As long as you don't talk about the vaccine, right? Should be all right.
No, it's not. Well, for YouTube, yeah, for YouTube, but the reason why they gave me the axe on Twitch was for like really serious things. Like I'm no racketeering criminal, you know.
So they accused you of that?
Somebody accused me of wrongdoing, and I'm like, I have integrity. I'm a very
You have iron balls, right?
righteous person. I have integrity. I'm
Balls
honest.
of steel.
I would never do anything morally wrong or illegal or anything of that nature.
Very upstanding citizen, I'd say.
Pillar of society,
Fine gentleman.
Like a bat, and like Adam West would say, I'm Batman.
Oh yeah.
But I did kind of like. I did like some of the guest villains.
The villains of what, Batman?
Yeah, I did like some of them.
Like the Penguin.
Well, I like the Joker. I like the Riddler. To me, was hilarious. Frank Gorshin, the
Riddler was an asshole, right?
Yeah, but he gave riddles all, but he had question marks all over his jacket. He had
he makes
jacket.
you think.
Yeah, he makes you think. What is he doing, man? What are you doing? He was going like really fast. Yeah, but he was going like the speed of light. What are you doing, Jordan?
He was going kind of fast.
He says if we don't mind a drunken Scotsman.
I don't mind. No, I don't mind.
No, wait until I get through some of this.
Do you have him on mute, James? You have Jordan?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't mute him.
Where'd he go?
I'll double.
For the safety and health of your family and friends, please do not skip through this video. Without proper QC testing in place, it's only a matter of time before people die. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. But the FDA, Trump administration, RFK Jr. has rolled back a ton of QC testing There's E. coli outbreaks throughout the country right now. Bird flu is still rampant. Going on that the news is not reporting, the FDA is not allowed to tell you, and then the CDC is not allowed to tell you. I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. This is important for the health and safety of you and your loved ones. First and foremost, the news is not reporting there is a deadly E. coli outbreak in 15 states right now. People are going to die.
This is current?
FDA is not publicizing this because RFK Jr. and the Trump administration told them not to. This is serious. This is a serious outbreak. We've had outbreaks like this before, not as serious, that were a big deal all over the news. This is more serious. Someone's going to die. A couple people almost died. This is a big deal. How did we get here? Well, I'm going to tell you how we got here. The FDA suspended food quality control checks. Essentially, they're saying we don't have the staff. We got cut. Our funding got cut. Our staff got cut. And we don't have the manpower to safety check your food anymore. The big one just yesterday, the FDA suspended milk quality control checks. Right? What child in this country doesn't drink milk? I'm a man of a certain age. I still drink milk. They suspended milk testing. There was something called the Food Emergency Response Network that involved QC testing of various food products grown in the U.S. and that are also imported into the U.S. That got cut because of funding and staffing because of the Trump administration. Wonder why we haven't heard about bird flu recently? It's still out there, and it's pretty serious. RFK Jr. told CDC officials to stay silent on bird flu transmissions and to not test farmers who are showing symptoms of bird flus. If you're a farmer and you happen to see this and you don't feel good, I would demand a bird flu test. Also not reported by the news. The CDC dismantled teams tracking accidental deaths and STDs. Does the Trump administration not want us to know if we get an STD? The EPA was ordered to stop mandating greenhouse gas emission measurements, meaning, we don't have to track that anymore. We'll just pollute the skies. We'll go above whatever levels that were set. This is extremely serious. People are going to die this summer. People are going to die from E. coli outbreaks or whatever else, salmonella. Okay, we have tools to test this stuff. You never hear about when food gets contaminated and we catch it and we stop it from going out the door. That happens a lot. And they catch it, but you don't hear about it. You only hear about it when it gets out the door. And now you're not even hearing about that. There is an E. coli outbreak in 15 states, and the FDA was told not to tell you. Trump and RFK Jr. told the FDA not to tell the public about bird flu, about E. coli. They're cutting food safety testing. They don't care about your health. They don't care about my health. Your family's health and safety is at serious risk. Go to town halls. Call out your congressman. Make phone calls. Leave them voicemails. Tag them on social media. Tell them you are concerned about your family's health. Whether you're MAGA and voted for Trump or not, E. coli is not going to care who you voted for. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a lot more outbreaks this summer. Without proper QC testing in place, it's only a matter of time before people die from stuff that could have been caught before it gets.
Yeah, one 10-year-old boy is near death with the E. coli. I think he's in Ohio. It's horrible.
What is QC testing? Quality control?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's just a guess.
Yeah, this is let's see. This is okay. Jordy must have.
What happened to Jordy?
No, he's here. He's back.
He's backstage?
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is.
What's up, Jordy?
What's up, Jordy?
Jordy.
And it's Kemeninamon.
Oh, robot.
Hey, That's robot abuse. What are they doing? That's robot abuse. They might have to transplant Joe Biden's head on one of those robots. Oh my gosh. There's so much here. Let me just, you know what? I'm gonna send the link to Rock and Paul, but let me just play Robert Reich because he always has interesting stuff. And I'll send a link to Rock and Paul Mall. Ay, ay, ay. Hold on. I love gold. I love gold.
Rocking Paul to the wall.
Yeah.
Donald Trump wants to disappear U.S. citizens.
Homegrowns are next. The homegrowns, you gotta build about 5 more places. It's not big enough.
This is illegal, unconstitutional, and un-American, and it has been un-American since 1776. The Declaration of Independence called the British king tyrannical for transporting Americans, quote, beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. It is ludicrous to trust that the Trump regime will give Americans due process before it tries to deport them. The vast majority of the people already sent by the United States to a prison in El Salvador have no criminal record at all. Some are married to Americans. Some have children, like Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And Trump's team repeatedly lies to the public about Garcia, a man they admitted was sent due to an administrative error. They call him a gang member and terrorist with zero evidence, no trial, and no conviction of any crime whatsoever. Do you think they wouldn't deport you if you cross them? Every dictator in history has claimed they'll only use their powers to go after the worst of the worst. Every dictator in history has lied. If Trump can disappear green card holders for protesting war, he can disappear you. If he can disappear visa holders for criticizing him, he can disappear you. If he can disappear asylum seekers for tattoos, he can disappear you. We must speak out now, before there's no one left to speak out.
Okay. Gavin Newsom suing the Trump administration. Oh, interesting. I know California really depends on China, California's economy, and they wanted to secede from the union because of Donald Trump. And let's see.
I announced a lawsuit on behalf of the state of California suing the Trump administration. California is the largest manufacturing state in our union, one of the largest trading partners around the globe. No state will be impacted more than the state of California as it relates to the unilateral authority that's being asserted by the Trump administration to impose the largest tax increase in modern American history.
What was that one?
Gavin
missed it.
Newsom.
It was Newsom. Put it
Suing
on
the
again.
Trump, I got rid of it. He's suing the Trump administration.
You can't play it again?
But I got rid of it.
That's my guy Newsom. I like him. He's got the slick back hair.
Yeah, that's what he has.
The cocky Ivy League attitude. Right?
Trump administration is paying for Mr. Garcia to stay in El Salvador prison. Yeah, I believe it.
Justice for Kilmar, the MS guy.
Why? What happened? Who is he?
The guy they were talking about, Kilmar. They said they deported him to El Salvador, and the Democrats are upset
that was
about
his
it.
first name?
Kilmar.
We have some
yeah.
major news right now. Senator Chris Van Hollen has confirmed that the United States government is paying to keep Kilmar Abrego Garcia in El Salvador at the SECOT facility. Folks, this is stunning. Van Hollen was at the SECOT facility today, attempted to meet with Abrego Garcia, attempted to speak with him over the phone, was completely denied on all fronts, but he did meet with El Salvadoran officials, and Van Hollen asked the vice president if Abrego Garcia, how is he still in the SECOT facility? And his answer was, quote, that the Trump administration is paying the government of El Salvador to keep him in SECOT. Let that set in. Your taxpayer dollars are being sent right now to El Salvador to keep a man who was wrongfully deported in a terrorism facility in El Salvador. Folks, I'll do a full breakdown of this on my Substack.
I missed the last part.
He's just promoting himself at the end, but yeah, the U.S. tax dollars are paying to keep these people in the Salvadorian prison.
U.S. tax dollars
Yeah,
are paying for El Salvador prisons.
yeah. These are illegal immigrants that have worked for Donald Trump.
Mm. A lot of shit out there, right? A lot of shit out there.
Not yet. It's well, it's the behavior of a narcissistic sociopath.
Narcississus.
Narcissistic. I think Jordy loves gold. Bubble, 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 bubble. Oh yeah, I gotta play the song. I promised Jordy I played the song.
Oh, Jordy's song?
Kick ass, chew bubble. Yeah, kick ass, chew bubble gum, drink beer.
They arrived in vans. They arrived in SUVs.
Hi, guys.
Most of them co-workers, some of them friends. There were 19 of them, each with a story to tell. They all took the elevator to our studio. 3 elevators, in fact. What were all these people doing here? All of them wanted to talk about their years of working for Donald Trump's golf clubs. They also all have another thing in common.
Raise your hand, how many of you are undocumented workers? And how many of you worked for the Trump organization? Raise your hand. All of you.
All of them say they worked for Mr. Trump at his various golf courses in New York and New Jersey, some for more than a decade, despite being in the United States illegally, from countries including Mexico and Guatemala. They brought with them their work uniforms and stacks of pay stubs from their former employer. Jose Juarez worked as a waiter at Trump's Westchester Golf Club for 10 years and often served Donald Trump.
He used to come and we serve him a Diet Coke out of the glass bottle into a plastic cup with ice.
Do you think he knew where you were from?
Yes, he knew I was from Mexico.
You told him?
Yes.
Do you think the president knew that you were undocumented?
I think so.
This was an open secret.
Lawyer Anibal Romero represents 38 undocumented workers, including this group, all of whom worked at Trump properties. He says 11 of them were quietly fired in January from Trump's Westchester Club after the club did an audit in the midst of the government shutdown and the fight over the border wall. The rest of these workers quit given the toxic environment.
Some of these employees were the most trusted employees of the Trump family. They've been working there for 10, 15 years. Some of my clients had, the keys to, for example, Eric Trump's house in Westchester, New York.
Nearly all of these 19 undocumented workers told us they've met Donald Trump. Sandra Diaz is from Costa Rica and worked as a housekeeper for 4 years at Trump National Golf Club in New Jersey.
I work really close to him in his house. Always I with him, with Melania, with Ivanka. Always I stay inside the house with all the family. They know me. I have a keys. I have to go in. I have to take care all clothes, everything in this house. I have to care.
Sandra told us she believes Donald Trump knew she was here illegally because he has to sign off on everything at the club.
How do you feel when you hear the president say that people like yourselves shouldn't be in this country?
I feel really bad.
All of the workers paid taxes, but were not given benefits. Victorina Morales also worked at Trump's golf club in New Jersey as a housekeeper. For 5 years, she made Trump's bed and dusted off his golf trophies.
Did you ever tell the management at the golf course that you were undocumented or that you didn't have the right paperwork?
She told us yes. She told her supervisors, but was told legal papers didn't matter as long as she did the work.
What documents, ¿qué papeles did you show when you applied for the job?
Victorina says she didn't show any paperwork when she got the job, but in 2016 she was suddenly asked for legal documentation. She says when she told her manager she didn't have it, he got his cousin to take her to a house in New Jersey to get documents, and that her manager himself paid the $175 fee for her fake documents.
There was another client I have in Westchester who presented fake documents, and he was told that they didn't look good enough. So they had him return 3 times to get fake documents that looked better.
Did Donald Trump know where you were from, and do you think that he knew you were undocumented?
Victorina told me Trump once asked her where she was from, and she told him Guatemala. She says the majority of housekeepers were undocumented and that Trump must have known. Margarita Cruz worked as a housekeeper at Trump's golf club in Westchester, New York for 9 years.
What do you think when you hear Donald Trump talk about undocumented workers and how you shouldn't be allowed in this country, yet you worked at his golf club?
Margarita says Trump is a hypocrite, that he says they are bad people, rapists and traffickers, but they are honest, hard-working people who worked hard for him.
He's been benefiting from undocumented labor for many, many years. It's sad that he's been lying to the American people.
Randy joins us now. Has the Trump Organization had any response to what those workers told you?
Anderson, we reached out to the Trump Organization several times asking for a response to the fact that these allegations and also the fact that the Trump Organization has been employing these undocumented workers for years. We didn't get a response, but the Trump Organization has responded to the New York Times, which has also done some reporting on this issue, telling the Times they have strict hiring practices and that if an employee submits false documentation to circumvent the law, they will be fired immediately. Now, that's certainly not what these workers told us happened in their case. And that statement to the New York Times, Anderson, certainly doesn't answer our question, which is, did Donald Trump know that these undocumented workers were working for him as he was publicly railing against them? Right. Also, one other note, most of the workers in our story, they're all facing deportation because, as you know, there is no plan for those 11 million plus illegal immigrants in this country. Only one of them now has legal permanent status. That's Sandra Diaz, but she didn't get it until long after she left Trump.
Anyway, I sent the link to
Paul to the wall.
Paul to the wall.
Paul to
now
rocking Paul.
No, he's
to
not
the
rocking.
wall.
He's now an ordained minister. It's the Reverend.
Rocking Reverend Paul.
Reverend Paul Anthony Mantia. Yes.
Should it be Reverend Rockin' Paul or Rockin' Reverend Paul? I think Rockin' Reverend Paul.
Rockin' Reverend. He showed me his credentials. He's ordained.
I know. I looked it up. What you sent me, the The little the school you can go to, it's like a 6-week program online. I think I might do it.
I would like to see you as the Reverend Ronnie.
Like to see
S.
me.
I could see you as a pastor, as a man of the cloth.
Yeah, maybe, man.
Yeah, Pastor Simpson, Pastor Ronnie S. of the Clearwater cyber church. We can make a cyber church.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
You don't want a cyber church?
Nah, you gotta go in person, man. Cyber shit is bullshit.
You know, I get like
Cyber shit is bullshit.
I get like a stained glass image with
Yeah.
torches or some candle, you know, some
If you're
flickering
gonna do it, you gotta do the real thing, man.
candles.
Do it in person.
Yeah, who needs a building when you have AI and the
That's
internet?
the human interaction. You need the human interaction.
You can
The robots, too much. It's not good.
you can give your blessings and healing through cyberspace. You know, ooh.
Yeah. So where's Rock and Paul?
I sent it to him.
Did you?
Yeah, maybe he's out UFO hunting.
You think he's taking some footage?
Footage. Now, if he was a podiatrist, then he would really be getting footage.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Joe Biden says the damage Trump that has done to Social Security is breathtaking.
Joe Biden says that. Why does Joe Biden keep issuing like statements?
Hey, you wanna? Yeah. Well, if you want a good laugh, I'll give
What?
you.
What do you got? What do you got?
I got the video of him saying that. It's breathtaking. It's I don't think that's the right choice of word. Like like a looking a real hot looking news reporter, breathtaking, but not
Yeah, I want to see that.
Fewer than 100 days, this new administration has done so much damage and so much destruction. It's kind of breathtaking it could happen that soon. They've taken a hatchet to the Social Security Administration, pushing an additional 7,000 employees, 7,000 out the door in that time, including the most seasoned career officials. Now they're getting ready to push thousands more out the door. Already we can see the effects. For example, thousands of people use the Social Security website every single day to check on their benefits and submit their claims. But now, the technology division of Social Security Administration has been cut in half.
It's hard to hear him.
And so the website's crashing. People can't sign on to their.
You can barely hear.
It's kind of, he talks very low now, right?
Oh, lower than ever. You kidding? Lower than ever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they keep putting him out there. Just leave him alone.
Oh.
Joe Biden, you know.
Important. Mucho importante.
Mucho dinero.
Mucho importante. Jordy's
jamming Jordy.
He's the grandmaster of techno of the United Kingdom.
Kim Iverson, I like her. She's good.
Yeah.
This is a post from a Chinese national saying, you guys are all blaming China, you're blaming us, but it's really your own fault, and America now needs a revolution.
They rob you blind, and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China, not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap labors. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit.
Yeah.
And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways.
Not just that.
They manipulate the market,
They
dodged
went-
tax, and poured billions into endless wars.
Yeah, lots of
And
wars.
you get stagnated wages, crippling healthcare cost, cheap dopamine, debt, and flagged wave poverty made in China, while they pick your pocket.
This guy's killing us.
For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build.
Yeah.
This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs feed you lies while they made you fat, poor, and addicted.
Jeez.
Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I
It
don't
sounds
think you
like
need
a
another tariff.
wrestling promo.
You need to wake up. You need to take your country back. I think you need a revolution.
Yeah.
Now he has a point.
He does have a point.
This sounds like a wrestling promo, right? That the guy was giving?
No, I was listening to him. He's right on the button.
Yeah, no, I think he's totally right for sure.
You know, what has the oligarchs here done for any of us?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That was great. I like that, man.
Yeah, Chris Cuomo and talks about the
You got
corporate.
Chris Cuomo?
He talks about the corporate elites.
Let's see that. The
Elite.
famous brother of
Yeah, the man that just wants,
Andrew Cuomo.
the man that's he's single, he's ready to mingle, and he just wants
The future mayor of New York City.
he wants to
Andrew Cuomo, right?
get laid. The poor guy, leave him alone.
He said he was touchy-feely because he was Italian.
Yeah.
That was his excuse.
He's touchy-feely because he's. Well, it's true. You know, Italians. You know, they talk with their
They
hands.
hug and give kiss. Yeah, that's good.
And they, the hand might accidentally,
Grab a little ass over there.
get up under the girl's dress, or skirt.
Yeah, that's a great excuse. Fuck. Man. You're Italian, right, James? So you're good.
Yeah, but I only
Are you a gentleman?
believe. Yes, I only believe that a man should bust a move when the woman gives him strong signals. That's it. The woman will let the man know. Where'd he go? He walked away? He asked me a question and he walks away. Oh. He asked me what my take is, and I went to open my mouth and he's gone. Don Juan, and then he's gone.
Sold to you as the enemy, right? The disease. I say they are just as much a symptom. The reason we don't make the stuff we wear, but much, much more importantly, the chips, the processors, the reason we're not leading with the robotics factories, the reason they're not all over the place, the reason we don't have clean, new, mini nuclear plants doing so much for our energy, the reason the tax code seems to have loopholes for everyone but you, is because the system is designed by and for and controlled by and for and financed by and for the corporate elites. That is the real establishment. Everything comes from that. That's why China is on top. That's why our politics is all about money and dominated by two parties that are constantly dividing us on side issues and trumped up culture wars. It is all done to keep us away from the real problem. Those guys on stage with Trump, the big dollar donors for the Democrats in Silicon Valley and other major industries, they all went to China for what? Cheap labor, no environmental concerns, no labor safety standards. Most of them come from where? The middle class. And then they not only turned their back on it, but they totally screwed it over. And this is not some hot take. It is data. In 1970, the middle class in this country earned 60% of the income. The rich, 30%. China was the 8th largest economy. America was first. Then came the big bad year, 2001. What does this have to do with 9/11? I'm not talking about 9/11. 9/11 was a major catastrophe. Something else happened in 2001. You know what it was? China getting into the WTO, the World Trade Organization. 4 years later, China, 4th biggest economy. Why? Millions of jobs from here sent there. Hey, but that's globalization. We got cheap stuff in return. Okay, but now don't we see that the cost of that cheap stuff was losing what really had value? High-paying jobs for millions of middle-class folk. We traded cheap sneakers for the ability to afford a home, to pay for an education, to build a dream. You think it's a coincidence that after that we saw a spike in folks on Medicaid? You think it's a coincidence that after that credit card offerings and rates jumped? Look at what happened by 2020. The middle class only earned 40% of the income and the rich earned 50. What changed? I just told you what changed. The system. That's globalization. No, it was a choice. And the rich here made it for the rest of us. And they made out like never before at the expense of the middle class. They did this, and they should pay for it. If you want to sell here, if you want access to the #1 consumer market in the history of creation, you should make here, you should hire here, you should pay here. Certainly a hell of a lot more than you do right now. Trump wants a tax cut? Okay. Cut it for the middle class. Increase taxes on the top. Yeah, I'm talking about me, but I'm not the problem. I'm a high wage earner, but my pay is all income tax. It's not hidden in equity and capital gains or other loopholes. No one makes this the focus, and even when they do, they're renegades, like Bernie. And his remedies and rhetoric attack capitalism, and that's silly. Trump has a chance to be about this. That's why I...
Screw you, calling Bernie Sanders attacking capitalism silly. Yeah, this guy's a capitalist. He must
Is that
be,
what he said?
Yeah, he must be getting really paid well by News Nation.
Oh.
You know what? Goodbye. I'm not honoring his.
Oh, so you're not a fan of the...
I kept saying
Chris
his
Cuomo
stated
brand?
goals of making what we want and need right here are admirable. But tariffs are just one tool, and he is arguably not using it well. Well, he had to do something. I agree. But that doesn't mean that anything will make a positive difference. He needs to take away all the advantages China was allowed by America's power establishment in exchange for cheap stuff for us. But what did they get? Many, many, many billions in profits for the few at the expense of the many. If I'm wrong, then why is the number of billionaires with a B in America growing faster than any other socioeconomic group? Did you know that? Google it.
Well, I agree with him on most of what he said, but screw him about sticking up for capitalism and calling Bernie Sanders silly.
Yeah, screw him. Did he say Bernie was silly?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up. You can't
Yeah,
say that, man.
Bernie's
disrespectful, right?
Bernie's rallies, with AOC attacking
Well, is
capitalism.
AOC silly?
That was silly. No, AOC is she's doable.
She's got to keep up the looks, though. If she's gonna stick around,
Yeah, she looks like she put on weight though.
Yeah, that's not good.
She got dimples, but she's getting heavy. Now what's this? I'm waiting for
Paul to the wall.
Reverend Paul.
Reverend Paul to the wall, Mantia. Rockin' from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh,
Right?
no, fuck this. I could.
Now, does he have any prophecies or anything tonight?
He's got lots of prophecies. He says he gets visions, and
Yeah, I know. I heard.
sounds like he's, yeah,
Like he's like a mystic, right?
well, he thanked me for giving him the idea to become ordained, and I said, "Well, you're very welcome." I felt that for what he does, plastering himself all over the internet, all over social media, and all the things he says, I says, you might as well be a minister, get ordained, and all your gift donations will be tax free, right? But you got to register.
Right.
I told you got to register with the state of New York. He says, "Oh no, I'm nationwide." I go, "Yeah, but when you're dealing with the IRS,
He's nationwide.
yeah." I said,
That was fun. That's funny.
I said, when you're dealing with the
Yeah,
IRS,
he has to
you
register
better do it the right way.
with New York State, with the states.
Yeah, you better do it the right.
Because that's where he's lived, right?
You can't tell the IRS, "Hey, I'm nationwide."
I'm nationwide.
I'm a nationwide.
No, he's not telling the IRS. Who is he telling?
Yeah, I'm a nationwide minister. I don't have
He
to
could
pay
be. He could be trying to answer into New York State for that. New York State.
Yeah, you got to register with the state you live in. If you're a pastor, and you got to follow the rules. You can't just become tax. Oh, I heard something. I heard a sound. I heard a sound. Oh, that was Jordy.
Rockin' Jordy.
You can put your audio on now.
Yeah, let's hear what you got to say, Jordy.
You can put your audio back.
Yeah. Can you do this, James?
Hold on. I can do Spock.
There you go.
Live long and prosper.
All right.
Another one bites the dust.
And
another one bites the dust. You like that song?
I like that.
Ladies' Night, and it's Ladies' Night, and we get
Feeling right. That was a Plato's Retreat song, right?
Oh, it's Ladies' Night. Oh, what a night! No, it's
was it a Plato Retreat song?
It's a night. It's a song they started when they decided to give women cheap drinks.
Give women liberation.
Well, one night a week the drinks were half price for women, something like that.
Thursday, right? It was always Thursday.
It was always a Thursday, and what happened was,
yeah,
when the drinks are discounted, the women show up in droves.
Yeah.
And if the women show up in droves, the dudes showed up in droves.
Well, the men always outnumber the women. So that's why they have to get it. They have to have gimmicks to get the women to come in.
Not in the world. They say women
at dance clubs for the most part.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, because the guys, they're all horny, so they will always outnumber the women.
Yeah, they always do.
In nightclubs, or even in regular bars like sports bars. No,
a sports bar, it'll be probably more men.
Yeah, because women.
But
they watch.
It won't be.
They watch sappy romantic shows and shows with gay actors.
We lost Jordy, huh?
And, no, he'll be back. I don't know. He must be really out of it because he's like coming back and forth, bouncing around. He won't put his microphone on.
Do you think he had his microphone's fucked up, like mine was a few weeks ago?
I like it when Jordy had the girl.
Remember you couldn't hear me when I was talking?
Yeah.
It might be it's something in the settings he might have too.
Well, what did you do to
I
solve
don't
your
even
problem.
remember. I don't remember. I can't tell you. That's fucked up,
I like
right?
I like it when Jordy had his webcam facing the bed and the girl was in the bed,
James, it is
and
what it is.
then he shut it off. He
Yeah,
shut it.
you didn't see it. You didn't see it.
He got on top of her and then he shut it off. I mean, I was
You
hoping.
gotta encourage him to do it again.
I told him, I says, this time don't shut the webcam off.
What did
Continue.
he say?
He started laughing. I says, continue doing
No, you
what
don't want to exploit him, right?
you mean turn him into the guy on Boogie Nights, the movie Boogie Nights.
Don't do that, James.
That was Marky Mark, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, that was Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
Marky
Wahlberg.
Mark.
Marky Mark. Mark Wahlberg. He played Dirk Diggler.
Dirk. Yeah, Dirk Diggler.
The
Good.
porno.
It's a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds was one of the.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies actually.
I like the music they played.
I would say like top 10 of
They
my favorite
played
movies.
a Hot Chocolate song. I believe in miracles.
The soundtrack is one of the best parts of the movie. Is the soundtrack.
Sex, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, seriously, the soundtrack is one of the main parts of the movie.
Yeah, soundtrack was very good. And you dropped the
Where did you come from, baby?
Oh, let me see if I can find the lyrics. Let's see.
How did you know I needed you?
Hold on. Hold on. I got it.
Yeah, that's a classic song. Classic
I
song.
Believe in Miracles by Hot Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
You Sexy Thing. Okay. 1975, sung by Hot Chocolate. Well, where the heck are they? What's going on here, man? Show me the word. Come on, man. I don't want to play the song because it's copyright.
What are you looking for? Lyrics?
Oh, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, wait.
Now, James, you remember this song, right?
I believe in miracles.
Right, James?
Where are you from? Yes. You sexy things, you sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles since you came along. You sexy thing. Dun, boom. Dun, 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 dun. Miracles right before my eyes. You sexy thing got me hypnotized. Don't stop. What you doing? What you doing to me? My angel from above lying next to me. How did you know?
I needed you.
Wait,
How did you know I needed you so badly?
I won.
How did you know? Yesterday
The lyrics are
was
messed up.
one of the lonely people.
One of the lonely people. When you're getting
Now
close,
you're lying next to me,
lying next to me.
giving it to me.
I believe in miracles. Where are you from? You sexy thing. The lyrics are messed up here.
No, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, we got it. We got the gist of it. Yeah, that was the Boogie Nights soundtrack.
Boogie Nights soundtrack. They got other good ones too.
Oh yeah.
It's not just that song.
You know what I heard? I heard that the Dirk Diggler character was patterned after John Holmes, the John Holmes story. I know the one. Was it Nina Hartley? Was a big star back then, and she wanted to check out his package, and then when he pulled his pants down, her eyes popped out.
When was this?
In the movie Boogie Nights, like when they.
But you're saying there was a true story to it?
That it was patterned after the career of John Holmes.
And who's that?
He was a huge porno star back in the 70s.
Okay.
And
Like Ron Jeremy.
yeah, and he eventually started doing, towards the end, he started doing gay.
Oh, why would he do that? Why switch over like that?
And he, long story short, he died of AIDS.
Oh man, fuck.
Yeah.
That's a terrible story.
Yeah, but he was a huge star. I mean, he was he was known for having a huge schlong, and
Hmm. Well, that's always good, right? It helps.
well, the funny thing is there's a video on YouTube where they're interviewing this guy from England, and he was talking about the drawbacks, how tough life is for having a 14 or 15-inch penis. It was way over a foot.
Hmm. Damn.
And he's when he wears certain articles of clothing, he has a hard time hiding
Concealing it, right?
concealing it, because
Now, what articles of clothing? You just gotta wear loose-fitting pants. That's it.
well, if you're wearing loose-fitting pants, the bulge is gonna. I don't think you
Yeah,
can.
at least somewhat loose-fitting it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. A loose-fitting trousers
Mm-hmm.
would conceal it much better.
I mean, you're not gonna be wearing leggings as a man, right?
Yeah, you're not gonna wear like Elvis Presley
No.
pantaloons that are one size too small.
No.
And you're
Unless
not gonna,
unless
and
you
you're not
want
gonna
to you want to show it off.
you're not gonna wear a Speedo at the beach.
Some people do. Germans do that, right?
They wear Speedos.
Yeah, Germans are into that Speedo shit.
Bulge. You ever see? You ever see the? You ever see the male dancer G-string with the
No.
elephant trunk in the front?
Elephant? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you did like a dinosaur with what's the one
Yeah.
with the big nose?
Oh, the brontosaurus. Oh, you mean a stegosaurus?
I don't know. I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah, have
There's one with like a long nose, right?
Or you can have Zuckerberg's face with a huge beak.
Yeah. You could do that. Or
Say put on the
you can add Schumer's nose into it, right?
monkey face. Hold on. Let me see the guy with interview with the man with a 14-inch penis.
14 inches, huh?
I think it was 14.
That's no joke. He's probably a very humble guy too, right? I
Oh,
would imagine.
he was a very nice man.
I would imagine.
He wasn't arrogant. He was saying it was difficult because every time he dated somebody new, he had to break the news to her.
Yeah, it's gotta be tough for a girl. Honestly, it might not even be a good thing.
The man from England interview, extremely large penis. It's not.
It's not showing up.
It's Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm is doing good.
What's he doing?
No, it's
The Yankees were rained out today, right?
I know Volpe is in a slump.
James, Yankees were rained out today.
Yeah, they're playing Toronto, right?
Yeah, but they didn't. They got rained out today.
Oh yeah, because they played at home
at Yankee Stadium. Yeah. So you know what they did? You know what they did, James?
I'm listening.
Because I know somebody who was supposed to go to the game today, and he told me They said anybody who's there today, you have to wait until the future, and you can come back at your game that time, but you're not going to know what team the Yankees are going to play. It can be any random date, whenever they can fit you in. And they said they're going to make up today's game that they got rained out tomorrow. They're going to do a one admission double header tomorrow with the game that was already scheduled.
Oh, really?
Yes, which means that the people who were going to the game tomorrow originally are now gonna have access to two games
That's rough. I mean,
for
it's
the
rough.
for the for the same, whatever they paid for the one game.
You mean weather permitting, of course.
No. Well, I don't know. Is it supposed to be rainy tomorrow over there?
That's rough though for the players to play a doubleheader. Let me see. I'll let you know what the weather is for tomorrow. Well, right now it's 59. It's going to be a low of 48. Tomorrow is going to be Sunday is going to be a high of 60, but very windy though. Low of 50, high of 60. Well, that's good. That's good baseball playing weather. 60, but very
It's a little too cold.
not. It's going to be over. According to this, it's like overcast but very windy. It's going to be very windy.
Winds from the east or the west?
Hold on, let me see what it says tomorrow.
Because that matters with the outfield, right?
Yeah. Too much mumbo jumbo. It's like
What do you think of that video I sent you of Vince McMahon with the cane?
it doesn't surprise me. The guy has ailments.
And it looks like the Undertaker's sticking by his side, right?
Yeah. Well, Vince created the Undertaker.
Yeah. Undertaker's very loyal. Very loyal man.
Vince created his gimmick. And
Yeah. But he didn't always have to stay loyal to him. He could have jumped to WCW any of those years. But he never did.
yeah, who was saying? Trying to think. Randy Orton was saying to John Cena, and he was referring also to The Rock. If it wasn't for the WWE as a company, and it wasn't for the WWE universe, they would not have made it big in Hollywood. Like there would be nobodies.
Randy Orton?
Like Randy Orton says, John Cena, Dwayne Johnson, even Hulk Hogan.
What about Hulk Hogan?
Did some movies. If it wasn't for the WWE,
So he's claiming the WWE made the stars.
made them Hollywood stars because what happened was Hogan was selected for the Rocky movie as Thunder Lips because
Hogan started it. He was the revolutionary.
He was with Freddie Blassie as a heel, and Stallone wanted him and hired him.
Hogan had the it factor. He looked like a 1980s superhero, so he got over.
He had the it factor.
Hogan, he modeled his promo style off of superstar Billy Graham, right?
Yes.
Now, not so much his wrestling style, though.
Well, so did Dusty.
Right, James. His wrestling style was different.
Dusty Rhodes' Gift the Gab was.
Nah, that was different. It was a different style. It was a more southern style. Dusty Rhodes. He had the more southern style.
The plumber's son. Yeah. The blue collar worker.
Blue collar guy, yeah. Hogan wasn't doing that. He was more like a superhero.
Yeah, Hogan was more of a superhero, but
And
the Thunder Lips is what launched Hulkamania.
superstar Billy Graham was a heel, actually, right? He was
Yeah.
a heel,
Oh, yeah.
so that's why, you know what, Hulk Hogan modeled his style off of Billy Graham. That's why Hogan always had natural heel tendencies, even though he was a babyface.
Well, the whole
You could always see him doing some heel shit, and he would get away with it. You know.
the whole braggadocious, loud, obnoxious. That was part. That's part of a heel wrestler. Being
Yeah,
that
but
way.
he was a face though doing that stuff.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he revolutionized, I guess, right?
He had heel tendencies.
He had many heel tendencies. So when he did any heel antics, he got away with it. Nobody called him out, and he stayed a babyface. He would be a babyface that acted like a heel.
During the Attitude Era, I think they had hybrids of half.
But this wasn't during the Attitude Era. This is back.
Well, they blended heel with
This
babyface.
was back in like the early '90s. Back,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Hulkamania started in the 1980s.
Yeah, and it lasted until like the early '90s, right?
When was he Hollywood Hogan with the NWO?
'96. That was '96. So
So he was
there was a good amount of years in between.
he was very relevant and
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
WCW not in the 90s.
No, he was very very relevant. Yeah.
I thought he in some ways he was bigger as a heel with the NWO in a different way.
Hmm.
And, I mean, people love both characters.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why Hogan's the most legendary wrestler, basically.
They
You
love
can't really say anybody's a bigger name
they
in the
love the
industry.
black and white Hollywood Hogan of the NWO.
Hulk Hogan,
They love
the immortal Hulk Hogan,
the red and yellow of the 1980s.
the immortal Hulk Hogan, they call him.
And when he was Thunder Lips, he had the gold cape that even before Blassie, I think he used that when he was Terry Boulder in the NWA. And then he started doing Hulkamania when he was with the AWA, Vern Gagne, and also with
Vince McMahon,
Vince
Vince McMahon Jr., right?
Yeah. So that cape, that gold cape, should really go in like a wrestling hall
And
of
Vern
fame.
Gagne fucked up because he didn't realize what he had.
You know what the problem with Vern Gagne was?
He was very cheap, very very cheap guy.
Yeah, they left him because he
And
didn't want to pay.
everybody says that about him. Everybody who knew him. That's a terrible legacy to have.
Gene Okerlund, Bobby Heenan left him. Gene Okerlund left him.
Everybody.
Eric Bischoff, everybody left AWA.
Scott Hall, I think too, right?
Scott Hall left.
Kurt Hennig
left. Kurt Hennig, they left because he didn't want to pay. He was a cheap Italian.
He wanted a percentage of Hulk Hogan's earnings from his merchandise.
You know what's even worse? He wanted a percentage of Hogan when he went to Japan.
It's bad, man. He was a really fucking cheap businessman.
Hogan says no way.
Really stupid. Like think that's how his he lost the AWA was because of that.
He was trying to say
bullshit.
that Hogan was
for such a top company at one time.
They were
for it to go like that.
Yeah, he was trying to say that Hogan was still under contract with the AWA when he went to Japan.
Sounds like a real sleazebag.
Yeah, Hogan probably.
How did he become so big? This territory.
Well, it's a very old territory, and it's Midwest, northern Midwest mostly, and San Francisco. He had San Francisco also, and he which I don't understand because there was a Portland, Oregon territory that was big also. So you would think Portland would have San Francisco, but anyway, he was an old school wrestler that knew catch wrestling, all the submission holds. He was like Luthez, that kind of training. Strangler Lewis, Luthez, like where they call it catch wrestling.
Catch as catch can.
Yeah, you knew how to twist somebody into a
Which I
pretzel.
never really understood what that meant. When
It's
JR used to say it,
It's like jujitsu. It's like
he would say it's a catch as catch can.
Yeah, interesting.
Very interesting.
Well, make it more interesting. I'll ask Google.
It's like a Greco-Roman style.
What is the origins of catch as catch can wrestling? Catch as catch can wrestling, also known as Lancashire wrestling, originated in Lancashire, England in the 19th century. It developed from British folk wrestling styles, notably Lancashire wrestling, and is characterized by its flexible and less restrictive rules, allowing wrestlers to use a wide range of holds and techniques. This style became popular across Britain and the United States, influencing various wrestling styles, including freestyle wrestling, American folk style wrestling, and mixed martial arts. So it's a blend. And it says here aspects of catch wrestling: flexibility, groundwork, which is, I guess, means grappling, groundwork, ground techniques and submissions, influence on other styles. Later became the Olympic standard. Okay, and influenced the development of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts. So catch wrestling is older than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts. Interesting.
Okay.
So that's it. It has its roots in Lancashire wrestling, England. And submission or pin wins. The best 2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3 falls.
Well, that was back then. They had a lot of matches that were 2 or 3 falls.
Yeah.
Win, loss, or draw format began. No points were counted.
You think they should return to that style?
2 out of 3.
Yeah, instead of just the 1 fall.
Too much work. No, it's like saying make the pitcher go to bat again.
Pitcher go to bat. Make the pitcher pitch 8 innings. They never do that. No.
8 innings?
8 innings. Yeah. Okay. 7. If they do that, it's a big deal.
That's why he got released.
But do you see any pitcher doing 8 innings?
No. They're worn out.
No. They won't do it. They used to, though, right?
No, they want to keep the
They used to do 8, 9 a whole game.
They want to keep starting pitchers fresh and rested and strong. They don't want to, when the starting pitcher runs out of gas, they don't want to lose the game. But you have to have good relievers. You got to have
but do you miss the days of you could expect a full game out of a pitcher back in like the 70s?
Oh yeah. But you need 2 relievers. You need the reliever to take his place after the 6th inning, 6th or 7th inning. Take him out. What do they call that? The 7-inning stretch, right?
That's when they sing the song.
The 7th inning stretch.
That's when they sing about "Buy me some peanuts and crackers."
Or they sing "God Bless America,"
Sometimes they do both.
And then And then, yeah, the organist is a pain in the ass. Should play like friggin' disco music or techno.
Sometimes they put macho man.
So they should take, YMCA. They should, when they take them out, they have the first reliever for the seventh inning, start the seventh inning stretch, and then you have a closer in case that reliever is not doing so great. Or sometimes they'll go righty, lefty pitcher, depending on who's coming up at bat.
That's what the system is.
Yeah, it's a strategy. Now, what happened to Judge at Steinbrenner Field? I mean, come on, that foul ball is short.
It's a minor league park. That's the thing. You can't really judge it. You can't judge a minor league park
If you look
in a major league outlook.
If you look at the foul ball in left field, the trees are much higher than the foul pole. There's no structure, there's no building behind the foul pole. So it's hard for the umpires to determine.
It's a minor league park, James.
Is it a fair ball? Is it a foul ball? Is it a fair? Well, they didn't know. They didn't know that Tropicana Field.
They didn't know that they were going to be trying to use that as a major league park.
Yeah, that Tropicana Field was so damaged by.
So it is what it is.
By hurricane.
You can't really. This year, you can't complain too much about
What was that? Hurricane Jordy? What was the name of that hurricane?
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah, Tropicana Field. They didn't know it was going to get damaged that badly.
They didn't know.
You know, did they serve Tropicana orange juice at Tropicana Field?
They don't. No.
Screwdrivers. Hey, there you go. Screwdrivers.
They don't even serve the orange juice though.
Tropicana orange.
They should make mimosas, right?
Oh, that involved. I never had a mimosa.
It's with orange juice.
It's orange juice and what? White rum or something?
Like vodka, I think.
Well, that's a screwdriver. Mimosa might have a little grenadine in it, which I hear is cranberry liqueur. Grenadine. Oh.
Well,
I'm tired.
Call it a night, James.
Yeah, let me just see if there's anything funny. The dumbing down of our government. Let me see. Maybe we'll get a laugh out of that. I got so much. IOU, IUD, interuterine device. They still have that for women, gynecologists. I hear it's painful. Some women say it's painful. The contraceptive device, or the IUD, or like John Travolta says IOU. You on the pill? You got an IOU? You know, when he was with that chubby girl in the back seat in Saturday Night Fever. Now, let me ask you a question.
I only saw like the first like I think like the half hour of Saturday Night Fever, and then from what I heard, after that the movie gets very sad. Is that true?
Yeah, because the girl that John Travolta likes rejected him because she said he's got no future. He's a bum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it made him feel like shit. She really put him down, and his father wasn't kind to him, and the girl was like, and the girl wasn't really. She didn't have any important job or education at all. She's just a regular working stiff. She was nothing special, but she kept putting him down, and he's not going to amount to anything. You're this, you're that, blah blah blah. I can't get involved with a guy like you. Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah,
it was sad.
In my left hand, I have a permission form for all of you guys to go to Black Panther next week. But
That
I am sick and tired of people who think a IUD is a landmine, telling me that the people I live by didn't understand what they were voting for. Who do we think we are? I've heard some of you read out loud. When some of us don't know the difference between a hysterectomy and a mastectomy. And y'all have the nerve to sit here and talk about science and think the world is 2,000 years old. The same people who say, I don't believe in pronouns. I is a pronoun. We use meritocracy so much in here, we think that that's actually how we got here. This is not a meritocracy. This is a popularity contest. Meritocracy is how those people who perform abortions got their job. I've heard some of you talk about Jesus on this floor and talk about a woman's hind parts down at the bar. Stop making it seem like a woman's worth is just between our legs. For God's sake, goodness gracious. I don't need you to sympathize with me. I need you to mind your business.
goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. That was Jerry Lee Lewis, God rest his soul. Great goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. What's this? Oligarch rally in Montana and California. Oh, Bernie Sanders got an AOC got a huge turnout in Montana. California, I understand, but Montana, this shocked me. I'm gonna rattle my brain. I'm not a fan of this woman of MSNBC. Oh, I'm talking to myself. Goodness gracious.
Deep red state Montana, Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders turning out more than 9,000 people today. Look at this. Look at that crowd. Middle of the day on a Wednesday in Montana. Yesterday in California, AOC and Bernie turned out over 10,000 people in Bakersfield, California, and 26,000 people in Folsom, California. This is not like San Francisco or Oakland or Berkeley. This is not a liberal enclave in California. And they turned out 26,000 people in Folsom.
You know, I heard that someone started flying a plane with a banner that said, this is Trump country. It sure don't look like it today. I don't think this is Trump country. I think this is our country.
That was Folsom, California, in a Republican congressional district yesterday. This was the day before that, Monday, in Ruby Red, Idaho, a sold-out capacity crowd of 12,500 people. Look at this. In Nampa, Idaho. This was the day before that in Ruby Red, Utah. 20,000 people turning out to see Bernie and AOC in Salt Lake City. This was the day before that in Los Angeles. Senator Bernie Sanders, his office saying that this crowd that turned out in... Drop the chyron there so people can see the crowd. Thank you. Senator Bernie Sanders' office saying this crowd of 36,000 people that turned out to see him and AOC in Los Angeles on Saturday was the biggest crowd that Senator Bernie Sanders has ever spoken to anywhere. These are just massive, massive, massive events that the two of them have been holding in California, but not in the, not necessarily in the blue state caricature parts of California. And also in Utah and Idaho and Montana. And these crowds are out there for two of the most dynamic and most unapologetic fighting progressives in all of U.S. electoral politics. The Fight Oligarchy Tour. Senator Sanders' office says of the people who've been RSVPing for these events, yes, most of them are Democrats, but they say 21% of people turning out for these events are independents, and they say 8% of people turning out for these rallies are Republicans. And 8%, I know, 8% sounds like single digits, but 8% when you're talking about like 200,000 people they've spoken to at these events thus far, that's saying something. And huge events like these, that are being done by Senator Sanders and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Huge events like these are definitely saying something about how the country feels about this political moment. And I will say, just in terms of the media, the sheer size of these events and the fact that most of them are in red states means that they're starting to get a ton of press and a ton of attention from the mainstream media. And that, of course, is starting to rattle everyone in politics on all sides, which is always fun to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AOC, right? She's
Bernie, they're getting
she's
like
doing a whistle stop tour.
they're
Right?
they're getting
You ever hear of that?
whistle stop?
A whistle stop tour? That's what the presidents used to do back in the day.
Whistle stop.
I think the last one to do it was Woodrow Wilson.
They get massive turnout.
Then he died. Woodrow Wilson died or he had a stroke.
Did he start the Great Depression, Woodrow Wilson?
Woodrow Wilson started the American entry into World War One.
1918, right? Or no, that was before. 1918 is when it ended, I think.
1917, the U.S. entered. 1914, it started.
Yeah, and
1918, it no.
Kaiser Wilhelm.
1918, yeah. November 1918 it ended.
Kaiser Wilhelm was the head of Germany, the Chancellor of Germany.
Kaiser Wilhelm.
Yeah, I love the helmets with the spike on top.
Yeah, that was the insignia. Yeah, strong country, man.
Yeah,
strong
with
country.
with the eagle. Yeah, they were the first to use like gas weapons, poison gas. They used chlorine gas, mustard gas, nerve gas.
The French did too. The British did too.
Chemical warfare.
They all did it. So they were all fucked up.
But the Germans were like
No.
experts.
Nah, they really weren't. That came along later when the English and the French won. They create the history books. So.
Now the Spanish flu started from the trench.
Started in Kansas.
The trench warfare,
Spanish flu started in Kansas, United States.
Really?
That's fucked up, right?
Really?
Yeah, it did. I thought you knew that.
I thought it started in
Oh,
Europe.
not this guy. No, this is weird, James.
Trench warfare.
This thing is weird, though.
Hey, oofa. Wait a minute.
What happened? Yeah, the guy with the tattooed mustache is fucking weird. Man.
Yeah, as long as Jordy doesn't get that tattoo mustache.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We got to be like Fajas to him. He's like our son. We have to guide him. We have to guide him in the right direction.
We can try.
Or not. And then, I mean, it's such a simple question, and it's haunted me ever since. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Ask yourself that question. Why do we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? And who are we actually paying for the privilege to being alive here? Who made them the boss? Who put them in charge? Think about that. We're looking at a war over water, when instead of feeding the military-industrial complex, we could be building desalination plants all over the world. So everybody could have water. So they could grow crops. But are we doing it? Hell no. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to empower people to grow food and take care of themselves? Then we can't control them. This is what I'm talking about.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
You think they're contacts, or I haven't even really focused on his eyes.
His eyelids are huge.
Yeah, that looks even weirder than I thought the mustache was.
You see, yeah, beyond his mustache, do you
Do you
see
think
the
that's
eye?
like a mask or something?
Maybe it's a mask. Maybe it's a mask because, he doesn't, he's a secret society member. He doesn't want to be recognized, or he doesn't want the powers that be to know who he is for some reason. I don't know. It's hard, but it doesn't look real. It
It's
looks
hard
like,
to tell.
yeah. Well, it's true. We're born on a planet and living on a planet that we have to pay to live here, but we're born here. So you figure, well, that's because the oligarch claims ownership of everything, the natural resources, and got 3 more left. So let me see how quick these are. Oh, here's your little sweetheart, your press secretary praying before lying to the country. But I don't know. She's built for porn. She's got a cute look for porn. Blow me down, as Papa used to say. Blow me down. Blow me down.
Have video. We now have video of White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, the same one who regularly lies on TV, bowing her head and praying out loud to Jesus moments before stepping up to the lectern to tell lies. Take a look at this. I have a lot to say about this. Take a listen.
Lord Jesus, please give us the strength, the knowledge, the ability to articulate our words, have fun, and be confident in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Okay. 3.
Okay. If this were, but I apologize if people are trying to eat while watching this, that is absolutely vomitous. If this were just a personal moment of faith, fine. This is the official mouthpiece of the White House on government time in a public building, holding a prayer to Jesus before a press briefing. And her staff proudly blasted it out to the world like it's a campaign ad for a Christian nationalism starter kit. Okay? You don't need to be anti-religion to see what's going on here. This is state-sanctioned performative piety designed to fuse Trumpism with religious identity. It's not just a prayer. This is branding. It's a way to signal to the base, we're not just Republicans, we are God's chosen team. And when faith becomes a political marketing tool, what you get is a government that looks more like a megachurch than a functioning democracy. And that's what we have. There's a reason that authoritarian movements often will lean on religion, not because they're holy, not because they're believers necessarily, but because faith offers an answer when the facts are inconvenient. You don't need evidence for a policy or competence in office or coherence on the podium. You just need faith. Believe in us, believe in me, believe in the mission. Doubt becomes a form of disloyalty, even to what Jesus would want. And we've seen this playbook used by other regimes before, Franco, others, where religiosity becomes a stand.
Okay, people, we are live streaming on YouTube and Twitch. We are almost finished with the series.
In a truly Kafkaesque moment, Caroline Leavitt accused the deported Abrego Garcia of being an MS-13 gang member, still without citing any evidence whatsoever. and then attempted to smear him by citing a murder committed by a different undocumented immigrant. A true disgrace. This is where we are.
On that note, the Democrat and media outrage over the deportation of Abrego Garcia, an MS-13 El Salvadorian illegal alien criminal who is hiding in Maryland, has been nothing short of despicable. Based on the sensationalism of many of the people in this room, you would think we deported a candidate for Father of the Year. That's because, unfortunately, many in this country care more about this quote-unquote Maryland father, an MS-13 gang member, than a Maryland mother and an American citizen who was brutally murdered at the hands of a different illegal alien.
Now, why you just a different illegal alien? What? Why is that relevant to the deportation of this individual?
Of course, I am referring to Rachel Morin. And if you didn't see yesterday, a Maryland jury found illegal alien Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez guilty of murdering Rachel Morin in August of 2023.
Now, importantly, that has nothing to do with Abrego Garcia, nor has any proof of gang membership been presented. In fact, a judge ordered that he not be deported, partially because he might be subjected to gang reprisals if deported. Now, I want to also remind you, those facts are less relevant than the question of did he get due process? Because as I've said before, Father of the Year or Father of the Week or Terrible Father, none of that is relevant to denying people due process. And Abrego Garcia was not.
That is very true. Well, they predicted we were going to have a fascist dictatorship. That's what pure right-wing capitalism is. Corporate control, fascism, and this is the last one. FDA food safety check ending. Horrible. This is the last one. This is, we will be, after this video, we will be concluding 2 weeks worth of material because I wasn't here to do a show during Easter weekend. I was away. Okay, so that's why I have so much. But this is the last one. Oh, he must have got really tired. Mr. Ronnie S., and also Geordie from Scotland, which is understandable because he's 5 hours ahead in time. So I can understand them. So I'll close up the show after this.
I think I could guess how the next pandemic might start, y'all. All because of this. We are literally one missed test away from eating poison for dinner. The FDA just shut down food safety quality checks, y'all. Not paused it, not reduced it, but shut it down completely. They said they're doing this because of staff cuts. So you mean to tell me the people that make sure our food is at a good quality and it's not carrying around no diseases is gone? Just like that, gone. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. You literally need to watch what you eating at this point. Because if they not even gonna tell us what's going on because they're gone, who's gonna tell us? You gotta tell yourself now. Make sure y'all washing y'all food, everything. This year do not feel real. It feel like a damn movie, y'all. Am I the only one feeling like that? Am I tripping? They will not tell you if the food is gonna be recalled or anything. So that means a lot of people might be taking trips to the ER. So y'all, enjoy your next bite. But don't be surprised if your stomach start turning upside down, flipping around and doing the dirty. I need y'all to tag somebody down below who's still eating gas station sushi. They need to see this. Comment down below if this scare you, and hit that like button if you think they trying.
Well, that wraps it up. Okay. Okay, everyone. That's it. That's it. 2 weeks worth of material finished in one show. 2 for 1. And what do you think? Should I remove it from the package? Nah. Then it won't be a collector's item. I think I'm going to leave it in the package. Well, you can tell. You can tell what it is. He's puckering up and everything. Oh, man. Okay. Join me tomorrow for the monthly show that I do, the Mysticism Show for the Facebook page, New Age Mysticism and Healing. That will be tomorrow afternoon, starting at 3 p.m. It's called The 5 Forms of Divination. Okay? And I do it once a month for the new upcoming month. In this case, it will be for the month of May 2025. Okay. I start off with tarot card readings, followed by astrology, followed by numerology, and followed by I Ching, which is an ancient Chinese fortune-telling method. And last, Chinese astrology after the I Ching. So that's the 5 forms of divination will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and Twitch. So join me. If you're not on Twitch, join me on the YouTube Progressive Discussions channel. Okay? It's a lot of fun. I used to do holistic health talk. I'll see how much time I have tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. So anyway, take care. Have an enjoyable ending to the weekend. Have a nice Sunday. Have a safe and healthy upcoming week, which will be the beginning of May 2025, which will bring Cinco de Mayo. So happy Cinco de Mayo to all Mexican people, including the gringos out there that love Mexican food, like myself, and go out, have some great Mexican food on May the 5th. Have a couple of frozen margaritas, some icy, frosty, cold Mexican beers. Enjoy yourself. Don't drive drunk. And we'll see you next time on Progressive Discussions, Uncensored Saturday, Open Topic Talk. Thank you.